He's key on it.
Not bad.
Really? Not bad at all.
No. So the other one, this came out not great though. Because they had like music playing, so we thought we had a time.
And we're live, the Beatdown with Friends, live for UFC 299, powered by NowPrince.com. I'm Sal Mora. We're live from Dapper Barber Parlor in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I got Dapper Barber Parlor's own Dom Candelaria. Say what's up.
How's it going, everybody? Excited for this card. Let's get it.
I have the CageMinds.com crew here today, the #1 site for combat sports news and sports entertainment news. Mika Frankl, introduce your crew, man.
Mika Frankl here alongside
Michael Carlisle.
and you hear us every week on MMA After Hours and Pro Wrestling After Hours. You find those at CageMinds.com and the After Hours Podcast Network.
And Michael, you're also on ESPN Radio, correct?
Right, we also have ESPN 1017 The Team, where I join Mike Adams from Mike Adams 2.0 each Saturday morning, and you listen to that on all your major podcast services.
Michael Carlisle, you anywhere?
Just hanging on to Micah as best I can.
You know, I got to give you a secret time.
Uh-oh.
So I was at that station that you just mentioned, and I used to work literally in one Civic Plaza. So I used to work to the sports bar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Instead of our radio station, on my drive from downtown Albuquerque to Rio Rancho, and I got to tell you, man, I'm giving you your flowers because I learned from you guys. I've learned, and just by listening, and it's crazy because we were talking about Leah Black. Because I ran into her this weekend, and I said, you know, she taught me a little bit of things. She was in the same building we were in. Even one morning, she was there on a Saturday morning at like 9:30. I don't know what she was doing there. She stopped by and said hi, and she introduced herself. And at that time, she was on that morning show that was huge.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't have to do that. And she's like, hey, if you need any pointers, come see me. And I'm like, I'm nothing. I'm just a fill-in host. But to hear you guys and to learn from you guys, so thank you so much. I just wanted to say that this week. Let's get into it, guys. Give us your picks for UFC 299 main event.
I don't see any way Sean O'Malley doesn't win.
Really?
Not barring injury, something like that. Yeah, I think he's going to be too much for Vera.
Ooh. How does it end?
Third round TKO.
Third round TKO. Micah.
This goes all 5 rounds, and I got end still. I got Sean O'Malley. I think that Marlon Vera is too slow of a starter. That's been a problem for him throughout his career. He builds steam as the fight goes on. I think O'Malley's going to be able to get a lead and sustain it, even though it'll get interesting in the championship rounds.
Dom?
Well, going off of what Micah said, don't get me wrong, man. I really, really like Chito Vera in this fight. But the thing is, though, he is a notoriously slow starter. So if he gets behind in this fight and is trying to play catch-up, it's going to be very difficult. If he is able to overcome that, get a quicker start, I got Chito Vera in this fight.
I thought I was going to be the Lone Ranger this time, man. Marlon Chito Vera. That's who I think is going to win. I think, yes, he does start a little slower, but, man, tell me who has finished him.
No one. No one's finished him. No one's knocked him down.
So when you say third round, wow. But there is a first time for everything, right? There is a first time for everything. But this guy's a machine when it comes to moving forward. I just think the pressure, I think this is upset city. This is upset weekend.
Well, with what we saw in the first fight as well, O'Malley was doing well, but it seemed kind of evenly matched as far until, the leg injury happened. And I wasn't sure where the fight was going to go beyond that. It was kind of disappointing to see that, and I'm very excited to see what's going to happen tonight. Like I said, it's going to be a banger.
I think size is a factor that no one's talked about.
Yeah.
The size of the octagon. They fought in the small octagon in the Apex.
Yep.
We're now in the big one, and O'Malley wants to move. This gives him 16 more square feet to move in.
You hit it right on the nose, and that may be the difference. And I didn't think about that.
Neither did I.
CageMinds.com, your number one source.
Look, keep in mind too, it's not like O'Malley's going the distance with a lot of guys either. Now he did get the split decision over Peter Yan, but outside of that, you got to go back to 2018, the last time he had a fight go the distance. So he's going to look to finish this.
Oh yeah.
Also, that fight with Peter Yan, I feel like it was a very close fight.
It was.
I personally believe that it could have gone either way. From what I saw, anyway. I'm not a judge. I'm not
Just
a
say it,
professional.
Dom. You scored it for Jan. I scored it for Jan. I thought he won.
Yeah.
I thought he
See
was
what I mean? That's what I'm
clear-handed.
saying.
Yeah, I thought he landed the hardest shots.
I thought it was a draw. I mean, when they're that close, I'm not going to get rid of anything. I'm just, hey, it's a draw.
Hey, well, you know what? Sean O'Malley is a new upcoming thing. You know what I mean? They're trying to make him the face of the UFC. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
One thing, if we go on to that as well, is the fact that, you know, the Latino community, the Mexican community, you know, all the South American, everything like that is getting huge in the UFC. You know what I mean? What they just had UFC Mexico. The last year's Mexican Independence Day was a huge event. This year's
It's
Mexican
gonna be
Independence Day
gigantic.
is enormous.
Are you guys going out there for that, by the way?
Don't know.
303?
Yeah,
We don't know yet.
Oh, man,
yeah,
the
that'd be
spear.
I would love
I just
to know.
want to hear you guys talk about the spear.
Sure, yeah.
Oh,
That's
But like I
306.
was saying, though, with that,
Yeah.
with that
I think
background
it's just
coming in as
300 and
well,
303 already.
there could be another narrative that comes into play as well, which I think sometimes has to be talked about.
absolutely. Speaking of Peter Yan, have you noticed since he lost the title, he's up and down, up and down.
Yep.
Kind of like lost his confidence. I don't know. Is that confidence, Micah? Is he questioning things? Like, because he was just on a tear. I thought he was gonna be like Volkanovski, champion, like just dominating his division, and it wasn't like that at all. After that, it just looks human, I guess you could say. It's
Yeah.
like superhuman.
It's almost been incomprehensible how bad his takedown defense and his ability to disengage has become. That's what he was doing before, and now Marab, Aljo, they just stuck to him like glue. And it feels like outside of the fight with Corey Sandhagen, where he was allowed to play his game, even in the O'Malley fight, did he really feel like, even though we felt like we could score it for him and he landed the harder shots, it didn't feel like the same Peter Yan, though, where it was just like building inevitability to he was going to break you down.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that is confidence, and I'm sure that plays into it, but how much is it that fighters have figured him out and he hasn't continued to evolve? Because, to have looked so good for so long, and look, there's no shame in losing to Sterling and O'Malley and Davishvili, but that's 3 straight losses. And I'm like you, I thought he was going to be like a Volkanovski, and that hasn't panned out.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. The one thing that I remember when, you know, the illegal knee happened, he was almost confused about what was going on, you know what I mean? He knew that he was going to lose his belt by disqualification, and it was unbelievable to him. I don't know if it mind fucked him or what happened, but after that, like you said, you know, his downfall has been, he has not been the same fighter since that illegal knee. And it's been very, very strange. I can't explain it.
So, Dom, who are you picking in the Peter Yan?
I'm still going with Yan, man. I think he is the better fighter. I think he has the better resume. Song is the up-and-comer. This is one of those fights, like many of these fights on this card, where I feel like UFC is trying to do a pass-the-torch type of event.
That's what it feels like 299 is
Yes,
in general.
I agree.
Don't you think it's but then what? Even the woman that just retired, she was
Joanna Wood?
Yeah, and she came back and she won the fight, retired with the win.
Right.
It was kind of like, hey, let's move the next people forward.
I am taking Peter Yan in this fight. He is, I believe, the only veteran in here, as far as the veterans that are fighting, that is favored to win. Small margin, but also favored.
Micah?
If Peter Yan can be old Peter Yan, he can get the win. But I like Song. I like the younger guy in this fight. What I was going to say is, for me, Yan kind of turned into Aldo.
Yeah.
They went really boxing-centric at one point. They used to have these great knees, these great kicks, these diverse kickboxing games, and then they became very boxing-centric. And when their skill set became more smaller, easier to handle, these guys were able to handle them much better. So I like Song.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Yudong as well. Wait, that didn't sound right. I like
We were doing that.
Thank you, Michael.
This guy was over here. I can't wait to see two guys getting it on. And before the show even started, I was like, whoa, don't say that.
I was sitting on that for like 5 minutes. There was no way I wasn't going to make a Yudong pun.
He's not grinning at your Yadam.
So Yudong.
How about you, Sal?
I think it's I think the younger guys, it's his time, and unfortunately that's what happens. You know, we especially at these lighter weights, it's the younger guys' game.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely
You
right.
see Uriah Faber outside the cage versus inside the cage. You see guys like Stipe, who's older, heavyweights, age and mature a little later in the fight game, it seems like. You know, they get their grown man straight. I hate to say it like that, but that's what it seems like.
And we even just saw it on the prelims. Phillips, Gamrot, Barber. The younger generation supplanting themselves. They're in the top 5.
Do you think it's necessary the way they matchmake this card? Because to me, this is what it is. It's old versus young. Let's get the young Lions to surpass the old Lions.
I don't think that they're doing anybody horrendously bad with the matchmaking. The most questionable one, I guess, and the most risky is Poirier taking on Benoit Saint Denis. Because if you're the UFC, isn't there a little bit more promotional oomph you could squeeze out of the diamond?
I think people are going to love him regardless. Did you see how shredded he looked at the weigh-ins? He's taking this fight 100% serious.
I agree.
Oh, I earlier in the week, I was sure Benoit Saint Denis. I told the intern if he wanted to go put money on it, to go put money on Poirier by this point, because if he can drag it into the longer fight, he is the better striker. He has the heavier hands, that veteran experience. I would be scared of Poirier and Burns being the 2 veteran guys that could pull out victories tonight.
That's what we just said about Burns.
And check this out as well. Little known fact, well, maybe large known fact, but Poirier's 30th UFC fight, man. Congratulations, Dustin Poirier. You know what I'm saying? That's a milestone.
It's not easy to get there, especially these day and age.
And against the talent that he has gone against, you know what I mean? He has fought the top guys for a long time already.
Does that include all Zuffa fights, or then it's probably something like 37 if we go with WEC?
No, we're talking.
Because he was back there too.
We're talking UFC fights.
Yeah, 30
Yeah,
Zuffa forever.
More, probably about 37. He's right. With WEC.
Yes.
Before they merged, I mean, they were kind of
Similar, but he at least came up that pipeline.
Cousin promotions. I see you wearing a Bellator hoodie.
I am,
Does
yes.
that mean you're going for MVP tonight?
I would like to see MVP start off his UFC career with a win. I don't think it happens.
No, I
I really don't.
But I'm excited for the fight.
No, I'm looking forward to it. With a couple of exceptions, guys making the Bellator UFC move, it doesn't work out well.
Right.
Now, a little different here with Bellator being bought up by PFL and all that, but 3-4 years ago, I'd be a lot more excited about MVP than I am tonight.
Definitely.
Kevin Holland likes to please the fans. This is the perfect opponent for MVP. Because if there's one guy that might just say, let me F around and try with you, let me test myself, Kevin Holland should win this fight. He should easily drag MVP to the ground and probably choke him. I don't think he's going to make it easy. He's too stubborn.
I think they're going to stand up. I think they're going to talk crap to each other. I think they're going to. I think it's going to be an exciting fight. I really do.
He destroyed a guy's knee in his last fight. One leg kick, and he absolutely destroyed Goichi Yamauchi's career. Kevin Holland's getting knocked out tonight.
You think so?
Yeah, he's going to play around and get knocked out, I think. think?
Oh man, I don't believe that at all.
I think you're the lone wolf on this one. I'm going Holland.
So
I want to see him win by submission. I just don't believe that he's going to show us the fight IQ and
What
everything else
happens
aside.
is that growth?
That is huge growth from a guy that didn't look like he wanted to be a world champion. He just wanted to have fun fights. If he just wants to have fun fights,
But those
that
are money
worries me.
fights, right?
But it's a longer career if you make some of those money fights easier. You take this guy down, you choke him out, you make him look like a clown, and you can move on to a bigger fight.
So last night, Francis Ngannou fought Anthony Joshua. Boxed Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua outboxed him. Knocked him out in the second round. I'm sure you guys saw the highlights. What were you guys' thoughts?
you know what, man? I have to stop you right there.
Yep.
Anthony Joshua boxed. Ngannou did something completely different than boxing yesterday.
He
I
did
mean, like-
an MMA squared stance.
MMA squared stance. Felt very, very comfortable in there because of what he did with Tyson Fury. When Anthony Joshua came in there and meant business, totally exposed him.
I don't think he expected Joshua to come after him, especially that early in the fight, the way he did, and he did not have an answer.
Did Tyson Fury almost call that one round, he said. And everybody else kind of laughed at him and looking at him like, oh, you're just talking crap, you're bitter. He really came out there and almost put him out in one round.
Well, I think too that Anthony Joshua saw a fight, right?
Yeah.
He knew that Tyson Fury took this lightly.
Yep.
He thought it was going to be a fun little fight, you know what I mean? I'm going to come out here and toy with this guy. Maybe not even thinking like that. Easy money is what you thought, you know what I mean?
An exhibition.
Well, yeah, whatever it may be. I think that Anthony Joshua looked at that and was like, you know what? I'm taking this fight very seriously. Exposed Francis Ngannou as not a top boxer.
Isn't that funny? Ngannou's the one that got over on Fury because he didn't take it seriously enough. And then Francis comes out a little bit too lackluster after having said he was going to knock out Joshua. Joshua felt the gravity of everything that was on the line and made the decision to not carry Francis at all, not give him any more runway, and made a very big statement to put himself back in title contention.
Oh, he should be the next one in line. Usyk and Tyson Fury after that. His boxing IQ and I was telling Dom earlier, those are basic boxing, amateur boxing feints and movement. Mm-hmm. And Ngannou was biting on every single one of them in the first round. I didn't think he was going to knock him down in that first round. Second round, I said, okay, he's coming after him. Man, that knockout. I don't know if the ref should have let him up completely, because to me it looked like he got to 9. Once you get to 9, it's kind of over at that point. He was out on his feet. He didn't see that punch coming.
Honestly, if the knockdown didn't happen, I think Ngannou won the first round.
Really?
Yeah, I think that he hit the better shots and stuff like that. But Anthony Joshua was pulling him out. He was
hunting for
learning.
that.
But he was hitting. He was landing. Joshua was studying. That's what he was doing. And he figured him out very quickly.
So we got Jan and Song, first round.
Well, and this is my guess, though, real quick. Ngannou, Wilder. That's probably next.
Oh, they already said it, and he said that they're ready to go to PFL. That they're going to do some kind of hybrid match or something. What?
Well, that sounds even weirder and less appealing.
It would. But
Well, in one championship, they did do those fights where it was the first round was Muay Thai, the second round was MMA.
I actually liked the Muay Thai and the MMA gloves. That was rough. That was some rough stuff. Hey, they're doing the bare knuckle MMA with Jorge.
If you're,
Junior Dos Santos.
if you're PFL, you're probably never going to see the return on your investment just putting Francis in a cage. So,
No.
so you either let him keep boxing and get a cut of that, or you come up with a hybrid situation against someone that you can actually sell on pay-per-view.
And if the Saudis are backing it with the money, you're going to do whatever they want.
Exactly.
It's kind of crazy to see everything go from, and I feel like I'm getting old. You're going from Vegas to Saudi Arabia. That's where all the big fights were. Vegas, New York area and the casinos over there. Those are the only two places. That's it. Now you're seeing it. Saudi Arabia. Those crowds are kind of lackluster also. Here we go. We got to take that song.
Well, you know,
And then this is what I'm talking about. Is you're seeing Jan, no domination.
And that's what Michael was just talking about, how his takedown defense is diminished, since that fight.
Oh my gosh.
And it's inexplicable where the grappling went. Just where did it go? It's just not the same. He's not able to break the hands, get away from these guys.
There you go.
But still, look, control. Tight waist. Now he took his back.
You age overnight at 135
that wasn't even a good
pounds.
scramble, man.
No. What do you think? Did he lose the hunger? Is he?
Your dong hasn't mounted.
I wonder if it got in his brain.
No, because right now
you know what I mean?
He has his dong on the side of him.
That
Nobody's trapping the ankle. Came down. He was doing wrestling 101, trapping that ankle with his leg.
Had that left arm. Yeah, not a great look yet from Peter Yan.
And it's crazy because these young guys don't fear him at all anymore. There's no mystical around him at all. Like, there's nothing about him that scares any of these guys anymore.
No, the aura of invincibility got knocked off of him real quick, and it's a little bit offensive closing out the first round, but...
Going back to the Ngannou, when he does go to PFL and he fights in the cage, that Bellator champion, or was he the PFL?
It was the PFL
champion. I think he's gonna knock him out.
Oh, he knocks out that guy. It's just
no. I think the PFL.
You think head to head knocks out Francis?
I'm gonna say it right now publicly. I really do. I think the mind is gonna mess with him the second he gets hit, and that's where it's gonna. I don't think Francis has Francis ever been knocked out.
Yeah. He had already been knocked out by Stipe and dominated.
That cold.
Stipe,
I'm pretty sure
dragged on him,
I
beat the piss out of him for 5 rounds once.
Yeah, he did beat the piss out of him, but
I'm like, but did he go
getting knocked out?
I think he went out cold. I'm looking at it. I think he went out cold.
Motionless.
I thought he did.
I thought he was dead for a second because they were like, "Oh my gosh!" and they rushed the ring. He's not moving, and he really didn't move. Like the way his leg bent.
No. That was the decision. That was the decision.
But he beat the brakes off of him.
Yeah,
yes. Right. But I don't think he's ever been knocked out, and I think that's gonna. He's got to make it past that first round in the cage in order for him to win. If he doesn't get past that first round, he'll get finished. I believe he's going to get finished in the PFL cage. I really do. I think you're going to see an upset city. Forget the John Jones fight. Me and Don were talking about that earlier today. There's no talk about John Jones anymore with him.
If he wanted that fight, he'd have stayed in UFC. Hey, look, I don't know. Look, say what you want about 0-2 in boxing. He's made a crap load of money, and that's what he wanted to do.
Yes.
So I don't begrudge him at all, but if he wanted John Jones, he could have had
There
John
was
Jones.
$5 million, I believe, then $8 million, then I think it went up to 10 with some back-end money, and he bet on himself, made double that, $20 million in the first fight, then he made 20 again, so he's 40.
Yeah.
See the comments on YouTube.
Can't blame him.
No, if I were Francis, I would try to milk another boxing match or two, and then if you feel obligated to give PFL a fight, you could probably hang with whoever they put you in there with, and if you don't, oh well, you've made your money right off into the sunset.
Even if it's not an MMA fight, Deontay Wilder and him, go make another $20 million.
Yeah, exactly.
They love you still.
Do you think that his stock is as high after yesterday, though?
Yeah, I don't think his stock was really. So the way I looked at it was, I thought Francis's power was going to show because Anthony Joshua has a paper champion type. In fact, in the first round, he clipped him. If you go back and watch, he clipped him at the end of the round. His eyes opened up real big. He's sitting in the corner, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Like,
Yeah, this guy can punch.
He hit me.
Yeah.
So
He does have a puncher's
there
chance in
was-
boxing.
And Deontay Wilder is kind of at the Peter Yan stage of his career.
Right.
Look at him against Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker beat the brakes off of him all
Well, you know what?
rounds last fight.
Deontay Wilder, I never liked him as a boxer. He has a very weird stance.
One round,
One
punch.
one punch type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Hands way down low, awkward boxing stance. Rose up to the ranks. You know what I mean? And then got exposed by these other guys. Now, with Ngannou, yes, I do believe that he has the puncher's power to win a fight like that, possibly, and maybe that stylistic matchup might be better for Ngannou than it was Anthony Joshua.
Right.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, look, I don't mean this nearly as bad as it sounds, but if Ngannou cared about his MMA legacy, again, he was staying in UFC. And I don't fault him. He wanted to make money. He wanted to be a star, not just an MMA star or UFC star. So, taking another fight against a boxer, win or lose, I don't think he cares. I don't think, unless he just embarrasses himself, I don't think it hurts him that much.
No.
And again, PFL's there waiting if he decides he wants to do that.
Itchy bad for him. They're like, please come back to us.
Well, I've got to figure that there's some kind of management fee, finder's fee, something kickback they're getting from giving their business partners their biggest star to use for boxing matches.
I think they're getting investment money from, like you said, from the Saudis, and that's kind of the behind the scenes deal with him, for him.
That was a much better scramble for Peter Yan.
Yeah, right now, and he almost got the front choke. But again, these guys aren't getting.
He's starting to use that jab a little bit more, and it's starting to work for him a bit.
Starting to, but still not doing enough to gain any respect. Still going backwards. That was the thing. Peter Yan used to move forward.
Yeah,
Peter Yan was the guy delivering damage, and right now
Song is definitely
he's still going backwards.
Song is definitely controlling the cage. He's controlling the movement.
Oh, see, he's winning the exchanges. It is so weird. Like, what did you get off your secret juice, your secret sauce? What happened in your life that it just turned off? And it's like diminishing in front of our eyes. And I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it.
That's a nice uppercut.
But we talked about the juice. I thought we'd see more kind of juice going around without USADA here.
I agree.
Yeah, and well, I think they're still testing, and I think. I think
that was a bad step for Yan.
TKO has a lot more to do with this than anything else. I really do, because they're making a push to be legitimate and take.
Oh, there we go.
Wow.
The takedown. There we go.
And they're even saying they want to buy up more entities. Right. Ari was talking in the interview that he wants to buy them and put them under the TKO umbrella. I forget which ones he was talking about, but yeah, he was talking about not only fighting. That there was other sports that he wants to swallow up and take. What do you guys think about that? Go ahead.
Motocross, rugby,
PBR.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's already under the Endeavor umbrella. But then they have to move it to TKO.
You can take it to the bank. They're going to buy the Rocks Football League.
Yeah.
Straight up, this is a banger right here, man.
Yeah.
I got this fight at 1-1 right now.
Peter Yan with that late takedown, elbow cuts open Song, so it might have stolen the round, got some damage going.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to buy that UFL.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to let their season play, and then they're going to bring it under their umbrella, also under the TKO.
Well, that's fun. That means we get to be football media now and rugby media. Because we already got invited to a rugby
What about that other sport? What is it called you just told me about? The national sport of
Kyrgyzstan was cockburro. Yeah, no,
I don't think you can do that here, Micah.
Hey, Valentina Shevchenko has played it, okay?
What is it?
I don't
explain it to everybody.
Okay, so it's the national sport of Kazakhstan, where it's a over-the-top version of polo, where they're riding horses, so it is an equestrian sport. And then they are battling over, instead of like a ball or something, it's a goat carcass sewn into a leather sack, and it weighs 100 pounds.
Time out. So you get on a horse, you grab a stick, and you ride around beating a dead goat?
No, there's no sticks. Where you're fighting the other, I don't even know how it's fully played out. We'll have to watch the videos on YouTube some more, where these guys are battling on their horses over this leather sack and taking it from each other.
Is this like the Rambo 3 movie?
It sounds to me almost like a capture the flag type deal.
Yeah. Basically, you got to take two football fields.
Except the flag is a dead goat.
And then at the end, we cook the goat. And they eat.
Oh, well, as long as
exactly. Everybody has a feast afterward. It's a fair game, but we all celebrate at the end.
That sounds like a new game. I don't know about the name, but the game sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, thanks to the LFA and Ryan Bevins for giving me that bit of knowledge.
So what do we got coming up locally, Micah?
A whole bunch of fights and a whole bunch of stuff. This week they got boxing at the convention center. We have USA Boxing is here, and what is this? The regionals, I believe.
It's the Olympic regionals, correct?
Yeah, the Olympic regionals.
Trials.
Yeah, Olympic regional
When
trials. It's all this week.
It's consistent this whole week.
It is all this week, I believe, Monday through Saturday. Credentials have been available for the last 2 days. People have been picking them up, so you have everybody that's in amateur boxing from throughout the Southwest all congregating here in New Mexico for this event.
And speaking of that, PAL has lost their building with the city of Albuquerque. I believe their contract ended. If anybody can help, if you got a building, if you got an idea, if you got somebody that can get these kids into a facility. Micah, who runs PAL?
Floyd Holguin, and I was talking to him and his board, and hopefully this week they'll get the petition done, because we were thinking maybe a Save the PAL petition showing the influence that it gives the community, that it does for the boxing community, not just them, but for the youth that they're helping with so many events, not just this week coming up, but we know Legacy Boxing, we know BKFC, Fight World, all those events. There's going to be a lot of time for the fight community and for big community gatherings for them to get out there and show the need for this program to continue on somehow.
So here's an idea. Why not put a PAL fee on every ticket? $1. You have a venue that seats 10,000 people. That's $10,000. And you donate it to them.
We'll have to
Here in New Mexico.
get to some of these promoters and talk about some good ideas.
It's really not that hard to do. Everybody's using so many fees. Why not do something like that? This USA Boxing event. Hey, we're going to help the PAL group from New Mexico. Let's put a little fee on it.
When we talk about PAL boxing, there's PAL wrestling as well. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that PAL does, for the community to get these kids into these type of sports.
Absolutely. Michael, your thoughts? On the fight, I'm sorry.
Right now we got Jan earning back some of that respect. Cutting open Song. I think Jan's finding his mark a little bit better. You see his accuracy. He's still moving back, but he's landing at a much better clip right now.
I believe that Song has definitely owned this round. Round 2, Peter Young was doing much better. Song is getting the much better shots in these exchanges on this third round, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think Jan's got about a minute and 15 seconds to make something happen, or he's going to lose.
Yeah, it's got to be something drastic.
It's closer than I thought it was going to be.
So we got USA Boxing. What else?
Takedown.
Arm wrestling. This gentleman's coming off the couch next week. Talk about it. I forgot about the arm wrestling.
1 second, let's finish up this fight, and then we'll talk about it in between for sure, Alan. We'll bring it up. But, this is a close fight. This takedown right here, changes a little bit what's going on in the third round.
You just gave me something to do next
And who would have thought Song is on his back?
Yeah.
Jan surprising us here both rounds, being able to get these takedowns.
I agree.
Just don't get him in the neck or the head.
22 seconds did not make a mistake here.
But I don't think this guy will act. I don't think this guy will act like he was busted open or he's dying on the mat and win the title that way.
He's going to scramble back to his feet.
Yep.
It's a close round, though. The unofficial stats showing that Yan was slightly ahead on the strikes.
Oh, there it is. Did he get it? He got it.
See, I think they're feeling that the second and third round went the way of Yan.
The very beginning of that third round, though, man, I feel like Song was actually winning the fight. When he came off and he got that takedown, it changed things a little bit. This is a very close fight. I wouldn't be surprised if we see at least one judge give a draw.
Hey, man, my producer, Josh G from NowPrince.com, we got comments on there?
Yes, we do.
What are they saying?
They're talking about on YouTube. They're just talking about this fight and who's going to win.
And what were some of the picks? Go ahead, read them off to us.
Most of them.
No, read their names and say what they say.
Okay, we got Scared Money. He won Song. Duke City Elm 5784. He was rooting for Adrian Perez.
Adrian Perez.
Abraham Pettis. He's talking about
Legacy
the 23rd Legacy
He's getting the WBCU title, correct? Or they're fighting for it in the main event?
Yeah, a WBC belt on the line in that one.
Oh yeah, that is. Let's go, home team.
And then Curse says he personally thinks Jan is going to win.
And he did.
And then Esco said, "Don't yawn or it's over."
Don't yawn or it's over. That's a good one. Let's real quick. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll be right back. Play the commercial.
Let's do the decision first.
Yeah, let's go to the decision.
I'm curious how this plays out because I think it was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be anyway.
All three, wow. Jan.
Yeah.
There we go.
Peter Yan wins.
Yawn or it's over.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, pee break, eat break, whatever we want to call it. We'll be back.
So what do you think?
Let's change it.
Okay.
You got it?
Damn, this was.
The Beatdown with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com. This for the 505, always ready to ride. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Every time I come around, I'm repping my town. I'm some red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Red paint, cross a yellow flag. This is the gang with the ghetto. The Beatdown with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com. Yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. This for the 505, always ready to ride. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Every time I come around, I'm repping my town. I'm some red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Red paint, cross a yellow flag. This is the gang with the ghetto. The Beatdown with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com. Yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. This for the 505, always ready to ride. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Every time I come around, I'm repping my town. I'm some red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Red paint, cross a yellow flag. This is the gang with the ghetto. The Beatdown with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com. Yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. This for the 505, always ready to ride. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Every time I come around, I'm repping my town. I'm some red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Red paint, cross a yellow flag. This is the gang with the ghetto. The Beatdown with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com. Yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. This for the 505. always ready to ride. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Every time I come around, I'm repping my town. I'm some red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Red paint, cross a yellow flag. This is the gang with the ghetto.
The Beatdown with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com.
Yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. This for the 505, always ready to ride. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Every time I come around, I'm repping my town. I'm some red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Red paint, cross a yellow flag. This is the gang with the ghetto.
The Beatdown with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com.
Yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. This for the 505, always ready to ride. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Every time I come around, I'm repping my town. I'm some red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Red paint, cross a yellow flag. This is the gang with the ghetto.
The Beatdown with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com.
Yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. This for the 505, always ready to ride. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Every time I come around, I'm repping my town. I'm some red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Red paint, cross a yellow flag. This is the gang with the ghetto.
The Beatdown with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com.
Yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. This for the 505, always ready to ride. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Every time I come around, I'm repping my town. I'm some red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Red paint, cross a yellow flag. This is the gang with the ghetto.
The Beatdown with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com.
Yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. This for the 505, always ready to ride. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Every time I come around, I'm repping my town. I'm some red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Red paint, cross a yellow flag. This is the gang with the ghetto.
The Beatdown with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com.
Yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. This for the 505, always ready to ride. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Every time I come around, I'm repping my town. I'm some red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Red paint, cross a yellow flag. This is the gang.
By Peter Yan.
That was a close one.
And we're back. Are you unmuted over there? Yep. Oh goodness gracious! My producer Josh G. If you want to comment, if you want to chat with us, get in the chat on Facebook, NowPrince.com, or the YouTube page, Cage Minds YouTube page. Get in there and chat with us, talk about the fights. We will talk to you, I promise. So, Micah, what'd you think?
That was a close fight. Once Jan was able to find his top control, which we hadn't seen his grappling look that good until the second half of the fight, but he got the top position, caused damage. Second round, won the end of the third round. Wow, he's back to a degree.
Is he back though? I mean, hopefully. You'd certainly like to see him get back on track now, but I don't know. That was a close fight. He was able to get it done. I was surprised to see Yadong on his back at the end.
It was all surprising in that manner. I didn't think we'd see Jan winning the grappling. That's why I'm like back to a degree, because did you see him winning the fight this way? He was going to have to do it with his striking, and he did it with his grappling. That's why I'm like, that is a very good sign because it's more than what we had seen. It was what we saw when he was feared that he was winning the fights in ways you didn't expect. I'd still like more kicking out of him.
And what do you guys think about this Gilbert Burns fight?
Jack Della Maddalena had way too much trouble with Basil Hafez's grappling on short notice, and that gives me a lot of hope and confidence in Gilbert Burns being able to get this fight to the ground. And if he does that, it's going to look like what he did to Neil Magny. He's about to mangle this man if he gets him to the ground.
And I can't help but feel like that's exactly what's going to happen here.
I really like JDM, but this is a bad matchup.
Styles make fights, and look, Burns coming off the loss to Muhammad, he's going to want to avenge that. He wants to re-solidify himself in title contention. I think he wants this. I think he needs this, and I think he goes out and does it.
You know, I'm in agreement with you guys. Gilbert Burns the whole entire way. JDM. Let me just say it that way. You know, I get tongue twisted when I have to say that name.
The Della is hard,
Maddalena.
right?
Yeah.
Della Maddalena. I practiced it and I still can't say it. Della Maddalena. Jack here has not fought a top 10 contender in the UFC yet. Okay, he's ranked number 11 right now. He gets his first top 10 contender fight, and they put him up against the number 4 ranked welterweight in the world. Somebody who just came off of a tough fight with Chimaev, and, you know, could have gone either way, I believe. I got Gilbert Burns in this fight. Sal, what do you think?
I got Burns. I think Burns' experience. I think as like with Jan, once you weather the first round storm, after that, I think the experience is going to take over.
Oh yeah, Maddalena's a technical striker. He's really good defensively, but he's had too many issues with grapplers. And you looked at Burns being that measuring stick, what he did against Chimaev. I don't know if JDM can go to that level, have that kind of fight of the year effort against Burns, because that's what it's going to take to get it done here.
Plus the secret sauce. Burns warmed up by beating up Black Tape, the cut man for the UFC.
You know, I actually saw a video the other day
Abuse.
of Tate running away. Of him actually getting away from Gilbert. Gilbert was on the floor, and Tate was getting run away. It was
love
like
it, man.
the most
Their
successful he had ever been in one of their
relationship
interactions.
Their relationship together it's just crazy to see, man. It's so rare. I was sharing the guys in the barbershop, like he just loves to mess. They love to mess with each other.
Yeah.
All the time. It don't matter what event they're in, where they're at. In fact, I'm surprised they mess with them right now.
Grab him.
I guess he can. It'd be a little inappropriate, but I can't remember what event we were at where I was like, hey, I think Gilbert Burns is about to choke the cut man, and we were at a press conference.
Utah.
It was Utah. Okay. He just kind of he walked up, he got him. It was so slick.
And the faces Tate makes. It's hilarious to see his eyes bulge out and everything when he's dead, or when he's mounted and he can't move. He's like a little child. I'm like, oh my gosh! But they're friends, they're buddies, they're messing around, they're joking with each other, folks. It's all in fun. I don't know. I'm rooting for the old guys myself too, as well. I mean, I'm an old person. I got to root for the old people. I understand that these younger people, they're trying to get the younger audience in. These younger, hungrier fighters, the next wave.
Do you feel like you're pushing them a little bit too quickly, though?
Who?
The UFC.
The young
These
guys?
matchups that they're making, okay, like. I mean, Gilbert Burns has been on the top of the totem pole in the welterweight division for a long time, you know what I mean? It's not like he's on a slide or anything like that. Yes, he lost his last fight, but I think he is still a contending person in the welterweight division.
JDM is 7-0 in the UFC. They needed to give him a big fight. Before he was going to fight Basil Hafez, I'm going to have to look it up real quick to tell you who fell out of that one, because I want to say that was going to be a top 15 matchup. So JDM, he has that resume. He's had the runway already. Enough time here. Oh, that was supposed to be a Sean Brady fight. That was going to be a huge fight. So I just kind of think because that one fell out due to injury, and now you've had other big fights made. That's how you get 11 taking on 4 when 11 hasn't got a big fight. But coming off of the win over Holland, he's at least beat a name.
Right, and keep in mind too, you can't keep giving every up and comer in the welterweight division Stephen Thompson.
Right.
You know, as the proving ground. So, Gilbert Burns, you're up next.
I tell you what, you know, I want to see Stephen Thompson in karate combat. Now that it's getting bigger, I really do, and I think there's certain guys that are going to go that way, and I think certain guys are going to go to the bare knuckle fighting. I really, really do.
So we looked over it. Sal knows how important it is. When we say Gilbert Burns is good on the ground, he is a world champion.
3-time.
And trust me, there's different levels. So there's world champion at purple belt, there's world champion at brown belt, there's world champion at black belt. There's Sal Mora at purple belt, there's other brown belts, and then there's black belts. Those are totally different levels than each other. I am not world class level. I'll say it. I'll be the first one to say it. I'll raise my hand. There's different levels. He's world class, like we just talked about. When he's holding down a man that weighs probably twice as much as he does, and it looks like it's a grown up holding a kid down. If this fight hits the floor, this gentleman should be able to finish it.
He is also a dog with a lot of heart, man. I'll tell you what, you know, this guy, he fights with reckless endangerment. He is not scared. He will go the distance. And I have Burns in this fight unanimously. I think that he dominates this fight, in my opinion.
The wee girl just threw me a kiss. How you doing?
Actually, that was sweet.
No. I don't think so. Here we go. They're cycling. Did we get everybody's prediction?
Yeah, I think we went around. Basically, everybody said Burns. We're all in favor of the old guy here.
Well, I also believe the experience, and I don't think it's going to be finished in 1 round, 2 rounds, and that's where you're going to see the veteran take over.
Round 3 is going to be really rough on JDM. That's going to be the round when you see Burns.
JDM is the longer fighter, though.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can use that length to his advantage.
And Gilbert Burns is standing the way Francis Ngannou standing last night in a boxing match. Actually, that was the longest card I've ever watched. Thank God I worked from home yesterday.
Oh, here it is. This is what you're talking about, Micah.
Yeah, take it back. This is world class.
This is danger. You're now swimming with the shark. Got up and lost his base right away. One leg is trapped.
And he's like doing a good job defending. You ain't defending, you're surviving, dude.
Up, back to his feet.
Yeah, but he's still on his back. All right, I'll give him that. Wow, that's
so as far as that goes, does that go as a takedown or not?
That was a takedown. That was control. This is all Burns right now.
He scores points because he took his back. He got control, like Micah said. Yeah, absolutely.
There's just a gray area with me that where, you know,
well,
like I said, I'm not a judge. I'm not a professional in the sport, but sometimes I think, oh, well, he didn't have him down long enough, you know, things like that.
Or didn't do anything with him after he got him down.
Exactly,
But, yeah.
things like that.
But you got him down, you put the hooks in, he was already working, he was advancing for submission.
And we really don't have anything else to judge right now. That's also important. It's not like JDM did a lot of work on the feet before the takedown. So the takedown is still the most significant thing of the round.
Maybe, if that, and that was it.
Yeah, that's a kind of a gray area with me in MMA is, you know, okay, sometimes they talk about, okay, well, that takedown didn't necessarily count. He got it very quickly.
Now, do you think size is going to play a factor in this fight? Because JDM is a bigger, more natural 170. Burns put on weight, was a more natural 155er. Looks good, though, at this weight class.
I agree.
Yeah, it could. It could also putting on that extra pounds maybe in the 3rd round. He said veteran. Maybe he runs out of gas because he did put on that.
He has been at welterweight for a long time, though, man. This is his first.
With the bigger fighter. A lot bigger fighters. Noticeably bigger.
Well,
At
Burns
least on
just
the-
looks a little bit more dense.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
grown man stuff.
Yes.
That's where that denseness comes in.
JDM sliding out of the way, though, the offerings on the feet.
Yeah.
No way, though, can you be confident because Burns is able to leap forward with these big overhands. And
Yes.
he just goes for knockout shots.
Absolutely. Ooh. And he don't fear being knocked down or put down on the floor because
He doesn't
that's
have
where his
to.
jiu-jitsu kicks in.
He could kind of throw with reckless endangerment, not worried about the takedown.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier about
Yes.
the wrestlers. That overhand right. That's why that's why everybody's like, oh, our wrestlers are so heavy-handed because they don't care if you're going to try to take them down.
They are comfortable there.
Yes. It's interesting. It's an interesting matchup.
Completely different skill set.
But that length is giving him a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to get a little bit closer, get inside, and
Weave in and out.
set up a takedown even.
For all the great things that Burns does, though, that's one of his defaults is he loads up, he doesn't feint and fake. He's a power fighter like Chimaev. That's why it was so easy to make that a brawl because they were two forward-moving forces. JDM is a really slick, technical boxer who defensively responsible most of the time.
Michael, we didn't run through the local events. We got PAL. What else do we got coming up? I know it's a pack, but that's why I want you to reiterate stuff for us. Oh,
David Burns, leg
take.
takedown. Reminding JDM it's just any moment.
Dang.
All right, Carla, who won the round?
Oh, come on. What are you watching? What are you watching? Cecil Peoples is in the house.
Some people ask those questions, right? I'm sorry. Oh, okay, so the legacy continues. Legacy Boxing Promotion. They got boxing at the Creative Arts Center at the Expo New Mexico Fairgrounds on March 23rd. Abraham Perez, main event, WBC title fight. Still a minor title. Building his way up. That'll be his second one, though, because he also grabbed that IBA.
IB something.
IB something world title. Exactly.
This is the progression. I'm not knocking the belts. This is the progression they all take to get the world titles.
Exactly. So he's going through the steps. His brother, Angel Baby, is also on the card. He's in the co-main event. So you got a nice little card. Locals, same people that you see from Legacy a lot. We got the following. Friday is BKFC 59.
Who got added to that card?
So we have a ton of dudes added to that card. On the local side, Lorenzo Coca's on the card.
Hey, speaking of Fight World,
Hey, that's a good friend of mine, man. I've known Lorenzo for a lot of years now.
Joe, Lorenzo, those are good dudes, man. And they were wild boys. As the Wild Bunch, they were wild boys when we were younger.
Yeah, as we all went to high school with them.
Yes.
So yeah, this is a 20-year throwback for all of
Oh,
us.
I love it. I love it. When you posted that on social, I was like, yeah, I haven't seen him fight in years.
And funny enough, last time I had to go do physical therapy for my bad back, he was the assistant.
Really?
Yeah, so that was
I
funny.
didn't know he's doing good.
Oh yeah, he's in legal now. That was some years ago though. He's in legal now, a paralegal assistant actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Doing really well.
Is he with Oki?
He was, and that's who he learned through. But now he's actually broken out and doing his own, so he can work from home and make his own hours.
Right on. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. You
Right on, Lorenzo, man. Tune in, brother.
Yeah, so is his brother going to be rapping?
I don't think so. I don't think that his brother has gotten all the requisite credentials for the bare knuckle because I think they have a process still going through that where they've been bringing in other refs and only using a couple at a time as they're building them up. They've more been looking to use the boxing refs than the MMA refs.
And Lorenzo's Coca's brother is Joe Coca. If you guys didn't know, back in the day, this guy was amazing in jiu-jitsu. He was an up-and-comer. And then he just went to school.
He was also incredible.
That's fun.
He was also incredible in the cage. I saw him fight
Yeah.
once in there. TKO'd the guy in the
Oh,
first round.
absolutely.
He had a triangle on the bottom, transitioned to the top, and beat him into a TKO. It was an exciting fight.
What you guys thought about round 2?
Looks like they're still in the filling out process. I am noticing, I think we seem to all be in agreement. Burns won the first round.
Yes.
When,
good elbow.
when UFC throws up the tweets, it seems like it's a little more split than what our room is.
Definitely from what I was seeing on the tweets. Good elbow from Burns. JDM, though, I like the way he works the body. He's able to put those shots on, so it's really back and forth. And surprised that Burns hasn't attacked the takedown more.
Well, he did just have him in takedown mode, and JDM was able to work out of it. He has probably been obviously working on his takedown defense and grappling, knowing that he's coming against a grapple master.
This is the Beatdown with Friends live event podcast. We're here for UFC 299, powered by NowPrince.com. We're live from Dapper Barber Parlor. Dom, tell us how they can get in contact to get themselves looking pretty like Sal Mora.
Yes. Anybody who wants to come over here, we are located in Albuquerque, 5836 Osuna Road Northeast. You can also call us, make your appointment, 884-4647.
And their website will be coming live through NowPrince.com pretty soon. Stay tuned.
JDM putting together the combinations, working the body. He's now putting Gilbert Burns on the back foot.
I don't either. It's this internet, this wonky internet services.
I'm thinking that maybe in between.
Telling you, slick footwork, the combinations, being able to slide in and out and control the distance. JDM having more success than I thought he would in this round after the first round, where it felt like Burns was laying out the blueprint for what he wanted to do.
Micah, we got a question from
Cursend?
Cursed. What are your thoughts on the upcoming Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson boxing match? Fellas, I'm going to let you guys take it.
Of all the people you could have asked that question to, Micah's probably not the one, because Micah hates him some Jake Paul.
I don't have many thoughts on it. It's obviously something somebody wanted to make happen, but I've seen Mike Tyson look really good hitting pads and really good hitting a guy nearly his age in Roy Jones, but I also saw a recent video of him needing like a cane and a walker to get off a plane. So he's 58 years old. No matter what, he's 58 years old when this fight happens. That's what I think.
I want to know how the hell they think they're going to fill the Cowboys Stadium.
I think they will.
What else are you putting on that card? Because if that's your main event, I mean, look.
You don't think they will?
Might get 19,000, 20,000 people.
100,000?
Yeah, for that? No.
I don't see 100,000 people going to see that.
I don't either.
Hey, Gilbert Burns got the back right now. 6 seconds left, 5 seconds. He's going to survive.
I mean, we're coming off of Jake Paul being a co-main eventer against a no.
Oh Lord, let's not talk about
that was
that.
retired for 3 years before getting in the ring.
Right.
And you transition from I'm gonna take the real boxing path, doing what you got to do because you got to take those fights.
And I was proud of him for doing what he had to do. Because yes, you do take those cab drivers that are 19-1, 20-1, but you still got to progress. Just like these local guys are progressing, right? It's no different.
It's a lot. Here's where it's different. You don't have to drop $80 to see those local guys that are progressing. If you want to see Jake Paul, you want to see him progress. So, yes, he is trying to progress as a fighter, and I do respect that. But he's charging $80, $90 a pop for the privilege of seeing him try to progress.
So my thinking and my wheels started turning when they announced this. WWE's going, and we got to talk about it because I got back hooked. I'm the fish. WWE's going to Netflix.
Yes.
We talked about it last podcast or 2 podcasts ago. Would you guys go back if they went to pay-per-view format? They're going to do pay-per-view for this fight. They're not going to just give it away on Netflix. I don't believe that. But this is their test.
Okay.
Not to mention they also have their test to see how they do live sports before that because they have the tennis match. I believe they're going to do.
And that's what TKO mentioned that they're going after. Now that you said tennis, that's one of the events that they said they're going after.
Well, I could absolutely see that too.
So, with that being said, is this just a bigger picture type of event. Meaning, hey, we got WWE. We're going to make a push to go after these guys as well. I believe that they're going after the UFC.
Netflix?
Oh, yeah.
Why wouldn't they?
I think Amazon's going to go after them also.
Me too.
They went after. They have NFL Thursday night.
Well, that's
They
the
have
key. If
PBC.
Amazon goes after anything, they get it if they want it, right?
If I'm Endeavor, if I'm TKO,
Oh,
I don't want to
nice
put all
kick.
my eggs in one basket. Like I'm fine going with a strictly streaming platform, but if Netflix do it with WWE,
left by
like there's an
Jack.
out after year 2, I think.
Sure.
or 3.
There you go. Nice deep shot.
I might would look at Amazon
Oh, good
for
defense.
UFC
That is a good
and instead of
defense.
trying to put everything on Netflix, just to kind of cover your bases a little bit.
What would you do if you were running?
Good job
TKO?
for getting to the fence.
Would you stay on a traditional TV? Would you split them? What would you do?
If I'm UFC.
Yes, if you're TKO.
Oh, from the UFC standpoint, I'll go all in on streaming because that's basically what you are now.
Right.
Very few fight nights are actually on any of the ESPN channels. Sometimes you get the prelims on one of the ESPNs, but all your pay-per-views are already streaming anyway. You've conditioned that's a much easier sell because you've already conditioned the fans. Now you just got to condition them to a different streaming platform if you leave ESPN.
So what happens to ESPN Plus at that point? You think they fall?
Well, ESPN Plus has to go all in on trying to get a part of the NBA is what I think they're going to try to do with the upcoming and make that their new centerpiece. Maybe add in more baseball
Because
or
if
try
they
to
lose
go all
this,
in on the
man, I mean,
NHL.
this is their bread and butter right now, if you ask me.
Well, I think David mentioned it, right?
Yeah. Most of their subscribers, it's like 70-75% are more towards UFC content. This is the pull for ESPN Plus, so it's almost like
That's
ESPN
why I have
Plus.
it. I have ESPN Plus because of the UFC content.
And look, Ari Emanuel's smart. They're going to do their due diligence. At the end of the day, I would expect them to stay at ESPN. But if not, I think absolutely another streaming platform. I don't see them going back to Fox Sports or anything like that.
I think you hit the nail on the head a couple weeks ago when that they may do a deal with all of them in that one streaming app that they're going to put together,
Right.
or one box, or whatever they're going to do. What if they all get events? What if they get ABC fight nights like they used to? I'm just saying. Then you get Fox Sports, or CBS Sports fight night, special event, and they all pay for it separately. I don't know.
And look, if you look at the other sports, the NFL, Fox, CBS, NBC, Amazon.
Good scramble there, Jack.
Good knee from Jack.
Dropped him.
CBM on come on. This is
He hit the back of the head.
It looked like back of the braid, yes. Wrong. That's what happened. Somebody should have jumped the ship.
Oh no, we're not jumping no shit.
That was a little scramble right there, man.
Yeah, that's saved him.
But that's
He
what
was
happens
leading
to
the
the
fight.
Bulldogs. We
Ran out of
gas. When you were joking, you said, "Hey, maybe you should go back in there." Shit. You know what I mean? To shit on myself.
Because we were talking about the weekend. She was like, you should join that card. So
Hit me right in the.
The grappling success that Burns had at the end of the second round, we all thought he was going to have it in the third.
yeah, he did.
He had a great position, and he wasn't able to hold it right here.
Roll right there.
Yep.
And
that's
big
what
knee.
was going
Oh,
on.
that knee.
That
did
hurt. Yeah.
And then the right hand follows up.
But tell me if those weren't in the back of the head. Because
Well,
I was
looks like
explained
it.
by Herb Dean was headphones. You're wearing a pair of headphones.
Let's see right here. Okay, that one's clean. That's illegal. That's illegal.
So
There were at least two of
whatever
those.
that is, it pauses, break them, put it back up.
Right, you would think.
Yeah. Real quick on my point. Point is, all other sports are on multiple platforms. There's no reason to assume that UFC has to be just because they are now. Like you said, some events on Fox, some on ESPN, whatever. Share the wealth and probably wind up making more money in the process.
And share the pay-per-view revenue.
Yeah.
We make it more money. So, who prediction? Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, July 20th.
I can't imagine anything besides a long, drawn-out, bad decision win for Jake Paul.
Really?
I don't know.
I think he has
really
the power to
quickly.
knock out Tyson, but I think Tyson is going to put him to sleep. I really do. If he hits him still, you see that man hit Roy Jones. Roy Jones even said it. He goes, I haven't been hit that hard ever.
And he still gets the head.
So, how is this Jake Paul continuing his journey trying to become a better boxer?
He's not. And I think people figured that out this last one.
Yeah.
To me, it was fixed. That guy didn't even throw one punch, did he?
I didn't even care to watch the fight.
I watched it. I watched some of it. Well, I guess I watched all of it. But it was, he moved around the ring
Yeah.
and let him hit him. I was like, wait a minute. Are you just getting a payday?
That bad of a show, not even making it look serious.
Absolutely. It's going to be an exhibition. It has to be. It has to be. No sanctioning people are going to be able to. My back is broken. Back in the day, my spinal. And that's Mike Tyson talking on Showtime to Jim Gray, and they ended his serious boxing career.
Keep this in mind as well. This is in Texas.
Yes. Oh Lord.
If you remember Nate Diaz's last fight in Texas, there was a little bit of a hoopla about the athletic commission testing for marijuana. Mike Tyson is all of a sudden a pot kingpin. How does that affect a 50-plus-year-old man trying to box a much younger man and not being able to lean on what he likes to lean on?
So it is going to be an exhibition.
I think it's going to have to be to get around the commission.
Plus,
There will be an exhibition.
It is the Texas Commission. I'm going to tell you right now, I've dealt with them, and I'm speaking myself. Money talks, bullshit walks. I'm going to tell you that right now, and I'm just saying, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. And any promotion that goes out there in money talks, bullshit walks, and if you throw enough money,
Make things happen.
in Texas, the big things happen. And I'm not trying to, I'm not.
No, I know.
But there are certain places. It's crazy that the UFC now, and I'm transitioning away from that now.
Real quick though, with that scramble and the knee that came directly after it, man, that was the one shot that changed the whole entire fight right there for Gilbert Burns. And you know what? That's all it takes sometimes in this sport. You know what I mean? You get that one shot, that one takedown, that one submission that makes this type of thing happen where JDM was
There we go.
JDM was losing the fight and came out victorious.
Absolutely. Yeah. What are your guys' thoughts? You guys are both in radio. What are your guys' thoughts on the UFC pay-per-play? Meaning, they're only going to places that pay them out to be there. Utah was one of them. Los Angeles, they made a deal with them when they're getting paid from the venues to be there.
From a business standpoint, it makes it, especially since you're doing, post-pandemic, you're still doing a few fight nights on the road, but you haven't left the apex.
Right.
So this is a way to cushion that blow.
St. Pierre's there. Hell yeah.
Attendance money for a lot of those events. So, I mean, I get it. I think maybe it sucks for the fans a little bit. You're not traveling out to as many places as you were before, but from a business standpoint, it makes a ton of sense.
So then the over and under on the UFC are coming back to New Mexico. Micah.
That guy's like 90% big good.
Maybe in like 6 or 7 years, maybe we're gonna fight night again, but I don't see it being like.
Who's gonna pay for it though?
Right. Well, even if they're
Fight
only
nights are
coming back,
different.
the only place they're coming is Rio Rancho.
And
They won't come back to Tingley.
Right.
You can't hang the light rig at the pit. So that's kind of an ensemble.
So why don't they do the old school boxing where they do the rigs, where Showtime used to put up the pillars and do the lights? I'm just curious.
I can only assume they feel like it would look bad on TV because, that's
It
the way
does.
you used to do it. But, I mean, if you wanted to, yes, you could do it. But
Will they? No, they're stubborn. They're set in their ways.
So if you're going to Rio Rancho with that capacity, it's going to be a fight night. You would get a paper, which is fine. Look, nothing wrong with that. The last event there was a fight night. It was really good.
I don't know. I was in St. Louis.
But yeah, I don't think I don't see them coming back here anytime soon.
I don't either. I don't even think they're going to set a pace. I think Big KFC is our biggest event coming around. And we're a hotbed. I heard an interview with David.
Yeah.
And he said LA's our number one market. I think that was a bunch of hot air. I see us as probably number one. I really do.
Well, even if this is number 2 or number 3 compared to
Per
LA,
capita.
right?
Per capita.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look at LA, number 2 media market. No shame being number 2 to them, right?
Right.
Well, attendance-wise, they put on their biggest show when they put all their cards on the table. When you had Dotson, Diego, Austin, Greg Hardy, 10,000 people, biggest number they've ever done. Now, as we're kind of deflating those cards a little bit, adding just more locals, you don't have those random big names, UFC vets. We're seeing a little less attendance, but it's still one of their bigger areas. From what I've seen personally, it's Albuquerque, it's Denver. Those are their 2 biggest markets, because going up to those events, it rivaled it, where you even see from their broadcast that the other venues they're going to aren't as big. They had a sellout when I was in Florida. It was not the same amount of people.
And that's what I was going to ask you. We talked about that on there about the last time about Miami. It wasn't a true sellout. You said, not really. You know, there were still seats up in the nosebleeds and whatnot. The way they sat you guys. And I'm like, why don't they give us our props? Because they keep coming here, obviously. I mean, but for them.
Well, at least when they're hyping up the crowd, and I've only seen them do it here and in Colorado, it's who has the best bare knuckle fans. So they really know where they're at. They didn't throw that out in Florida. They weren't selling it the way that they do here. So there is a respect for the fan base. And when they say these are truly the best fans that we have, they've said that the only other fans they've seen go crazy enough was when they went to like Bulgaria last year. They were like, those people went nuts for the sport, and it was like 13,000 people in an arena. But who knows how much money they made really on that show?
And speaking of the bare knuckle fight coming here, the event, have you heard any buzz around it, like ticket-wise and selling? How's it trending right now?
I know it's trending well, and I know with that expectation, I believe they're only doing the half arena this time. They're only doing half a Tingley, and that looked to be what was available from going on Tingley and seeing what's on sale, what was online. But I'm hearing it's doing well. The guys are saying that they're selling
it half house?
Yeah, half house.
When do you think it'll be able to go full house?
Well, we did full house 2 times, and I think that they're going half house because they're still waiting for another superstar. They know that Dodson and Donald with Wilfredo, the guys that they've already had 3-4 times on the card, those names can pack out half the house. If we had one more champion, if you're able to have Austin on the card, I don't think you're ready for that rematch, and I don't think you have anybody in this fight.
Dodson, Kobe, Maine, whichever one, it don't matter. I'm not saying which one needs to go at top. And then Donald, and then fill in the rest with my old guys that I used to put in on my cards that were selling 150 tickets each.
Oh, so you're happy to see Flips back again?
Absolutely, I am. I'm happy to see all of them back. That's why I even messaged you. I said, oh, this card looks familiar. Because those are my cards. I know what those guys can sell.
Exactly. So I think if you had Austin, if they were in a position to have him with the challenger right now, you probably would see them open the full house and selling it out again.
So are you hearing that they are going to rematch Palomino and Trout?
Right now, I'm not hearing anything. That one's on the back
Why
burner.
would we? I mean, Trout just
You call it.
Trout,
dominated the whole entire fight.
he dominated him, picked him
Who would
apart.
be next then?
That's the thing. They're going to have to probably see if they can entice someone from the
Hey!
outside. There's been a lot of speculation about them wanting to offer bigger name boxers some purses because there is an influence of cash now, as they did their own deal with a company from Abu Dhabi. And we know Alfredo Angulo, I think Ribado, they have a couple veterans that they've already booked for some fights. They signed Heather Hardy to come in to fight Christine Faria in May in
I haven't
Connecticut.
Hardy in a long time.
Right, since she made that
Bellator. In fact, me and Whitney were watching her fight in boxing, and she was just getting bopped up, and I felt bad because she wasn't making the big money. You know, it was the Amanda Serrano undercard in New York, and she just got bloodied up, and I'm like, the girls that were before this big movement of where they're getting paid, like Clarissa Shields and everything, they were making $500. They're making bogus money.
$500?
Yeah, ridiculous. It was like stupid money, 1,000, 2,000, something they couldn't even live on. And she was part of that group, and it hurts to see them get beat up. Guy, girl, it don't matter who it is, but it hurts to see. And that's where you saw the frustration with Saint Nick. You know, that's where you saw his frustration, because he put in that work, he put in that grind, and these guys that are up and coming that don't have the same grit, the same Jordan heart, the same Kobe heart that we were talking about earlier, they're making 10 times as much as he's ever made. So there's that frustration, and I see the frustration on all these older fighters.
Well, look at Tyrone Woodley still trying to get a super match in boxing. I think you saw Tony Ferguson was offering to take on one of the Paul brothers. You see these guys that they missed out on their moment, and they are trying to cash in now where they see how the sport's trending. Look at Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal. They're going to be back in the UFC this year. That's everything that's circling around them.
So they're saying that, or they're going to do boxing. Because they both got promotional companies.
They could do it, and we saw Jorge do very well with promoting the Roy Jones, Anthony Pettis ordeal in Milwaukee. So if you get the right city and you get the right names on the undercard, if they do it somewhere, San Jose, or
hey, maybe Malky can pull some strings and get in Saudi Arabia.
maybe probably more likely, I was going to say we'll either see it in a Bellator or a BKFC arena, but yeah, because Jorge's right there, Seminole Hard Rock. I believe that's where they had just done the junior. Oh no, they did the.
They were talking about him being on this card.
The which one?
The Miami card right here that we're watching, UFC 299.
Yeah,
they were talking about him being potentially on this card.
Yeah.
Just to put asses in seats.
Still the king of Miami.
Oh,
Still a draw.
Oh yeah, and it's wild to see.
Did you ever think you would see that? From Jorge Masvidal going from being the guy that we all saw get inverted triangle by Toby Amata, and that's what he was most known for on the first Bellator cards,
that
to being this
YouTube
guy.
video, that was it.
Right, and then after that, I think it was getting jabbed up by Gilbert Melendez and Strikeforce.
Every dollar that Jorge Masvidal makes, he should send 40 cents to Ben Askren.
Yes.
At least 40 cents.
60-40, let's go. and that's hitting the nail right on the head. I mean, he changed, and then slapping the welterweight champion.
Yeah.
The welterweight, 2 pieces.
Leon on stage in London when they had the interaction. I'll tell you, there was nothing like seeing. I was there in the crowd. That knee live, that was insane.
Really?
Yeah.
Askren?
Yeah, the Askren. That was that fight. Yeah, yeah, he was doing media. I actually didn't have a credential. I was sitting actually with Edmund Shabazian's family. We bought my ticket last month, and I was at the end of this whole big section of Armenians.
Nice.
I was saying real quick, as MVP's about to come out, speaking of Ben Askren, I was at the Robbie Lawler fight as well. He was lucky to get out of that one.
Yes, he was.
Because he almost lost that the same way he lost to Masvidal.
Yep.
MVP's coming out to the Undertaker music with a long black cape.
Israel Adesanya is not going to be happy about this.
There is character infringement going on across the UFC already.
Hey, the cross promotion.
I like it.
But yeah, Adesanya did this, 2 years ago?
He came out with the lantern. It was for an international fight. Yeah, and the urn, and it was going around the arena. That was pretty cool.
Predictions, guys, real quick before we're watching this entrance with the TKO WWE Undertaker music, TKO UFC 299.
I don't feel good about it, but I like Kevin Holland, I guess.
I don't feel good about it. I'm taking MVP, yeah.
Give him your Bellator jacket. Let him wear it.
I should have worn my Bellator t-shirt. Rip it out here.
Rip it up.
Hey, so check this out. This is the only fight that I saw that had no odds on it. There was no line on the
I
fight.
still haven't seen any odds on it.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure there's
No odds, no line on the fight.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
Straight up. So with me on the prediction on this fight, I have to go with the Premier League in MMA, UFC, Kevin Holland.
But this guy has fought everywhere.
Agreed.
And look at him. Look at the way he's walking. He's so confident. So, like, sure of himself.
That's just him.
Oh, it is him. That's exactly what I was going to say. There's not him walking in nervous. This is MVP.
Yes.
It's interesting, but I'm still going to go with Kevin Holland.
So his last fight, BKFC.
Yeah,
What'd you think of that?
but that's an animal. That's BKFC at its finest. Mike Perry.
He couldn't kick, he couldn't knee, he couldn't elbow.
Yeah, real quick, odds I'm finding right now, Holland, minus 140 favorite, MVP's plus 110. So, I mean...
Point toss.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Point toss.
Do we have any comments, Josh G?
MVP.
Hey, they like the Undertaker entrance.
Hey.
You probably could have just lit the lights, right? Michael, with these cross promotions, how much more creative can they get?
You know, that's going to be tested this year because an interesting cross promotion that I'm hearing is BKFC and Ryzen.
Really?
Ryzen is going to send some dudes over to compete in BKFC, and they're going to send some guys over to Ryzen to most likely do bare knuckle in Ryzen. I don't know if it's going to be bare knuckle MMA or just bare knuckle boxing, but they're trying to figure out a way to open up that territory.
It's
And Ryzen wants to keep their guys.
mafia anyway, so who cares? They're
And-
going to do what they want.
Ryzen only throws like 6 cards a year, so they're like, if we can keep some more of our guys busy, why not do it?
Sure.
Here, we'll throw some more fights, throw some fighters your way.
I don't...
Nothing on this.
I mean, you do what you got to do. I don't see that being a winning proposition for BKFC just because of the lack of interest that most fans here have for Ryzen fighters. I mean, hell, even one championship, and I got no problems with either promotion, but one championship doesn't do that well here. Not like they
don't.
do elsewhere in the world.
No, they don't. And I don't even know if they do that elsewhere in the world or if that's lip service.
It could be some lip service, sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lou Paney ain't that big of a stadium, and they're there every other week.
Right. And with Ryzen, like with John Dodson, how many people knew that he lost out there? I don't think there was very many. Not the, except for I would call us hardcore.
And I talked to Dave, and I said, hey, with Alan Belcher, you can go you can go fight in boxing, you let him go. He said, Mike, it's about eyes, and like you said, it's about who's going to see it. No one knew that John went over there. Not to mention, he got out-wrestled, and the guy sat on him for most of the fight. It wasn't like John got beat up, like his performance was anything that would make him look bad. So, yeah, have a fight right away. If anybody saw the fight, it's no problem. So I think those both played in his favor, because like if he would have got beat up in there, it might have been a different story.
But you mentioned you asked Dave in that same breath, would they let what's the one that you said the BKFC, the bare knuckle, Mike Perry
Oh yes.
cross over
No.
and fight Connor?
No. There's not enough money. There's no value in it for them. It
Why
doesn't help
is
their
there no
brand.
value though?
Because it doesn't help their brand, because he's going over to an MMA fight, and they feel like it would be giving in and making them look inferior. It's not them making any
If
money.
Connor fights, it's going to be in the UFC.
No,
That's all.
they were, but what I'm saying is that cross promotion, no press is bad press, right?
You would
That's what he just said. The
money isn't there.
The other hand,
He's right. The money's not there.
Well, to a certain degree, it makes sense for BKFC. It doesn't make any sense for UFC. you know, when you're at the top of the mountain, don't acknowledge the people under you. When you're fighting up, that's different. Plus, UFC can make more money doing the Chandler fight with McGregor, and then you always got Nate Diaz in your back pocket for a third McGregor Diaz.
That's what I've heard about.
They're
That's what I
saying-
heard that's actually going to happen.
They're saying the Spear.
Could be.
And Connor's already called for it.
Yeah, I don't think.
One thing that I don't
think Connor and Chandler ever actually fight.
Hey, you know one thing that I don't understand though? Okay, the Sphere, right? Mexican Independence Day. They're gonna make. There's not even a Mexican on the. You know, the main event should be a Mexican fighter, correct?
Oh, give him time. Give him time.
That don't have to be the main event. That could be the co-main event.
Right.
Connor
I
is
think
neither gonna be a co-main event.
He will.
Connor is the main event, and then you got the Grasso
Okay, there you
Shevchenko
go,
3
yeah.
matchup as the co-main event. We just got them announced as the Tough 32 coaches.
Yeah.
That season's got
That
to
just
play out.
happened yesterday,
It's already
right?
giving them It's already giving them that
Connor
time to
and Nate.
prepare.
The Mexican Independence Day.
5-3, 5-3.
I don't think it happens there.
I don't think that's what I said.
And
That's what the
I know Nate
Sphere.
wants to be on that card.
But that's what the Sphere's event is supposed to be. Is the
Right,
Mexican
right,
Independence Day event.
right.
Here we go. They're practically even. They were just showing the stats.
Man, it has to be Alexa Grasso headlining that card, doesn't it?
I would assume her. Yeah,
You
I
think
would
it's
assume
gonna be
that's
her?
what Ultimate Fighters is going to build
You
to.
think it's going to be Alexa Grasso?
It has to be because they're figuring who's the biggest Mexican star right now. You said it's not
Okay.
Brandon Moreno. He just lost, unfortunately.
Okay,
it's not
but-
Yair. He just
but
lost.
She shits the bed. She loses. Now what?
Brandon? I'm sorry, Ortega.
Yes. I still think we're going to put that main event, the third fight.
Put Diaz in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Same
That's
thing.
different, man. Ortega
No,
speaks to the
but
Latino
that's the
community
thing.
in Spanish to them. You know what I mean?
But
Like,
That's why they hold
But
off the
to
third
them,
fight.
They're the same.
yes, to them they're the same. But it's just
Them, they're the same.
they have to
Apples,
look
apples.
at.
Oranges.
But Nate, you think Stockton? You don't think Hispanic? You don't think
He lives in the other county. Don't let him lie to you.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
Oh, there we go.
I actually agree with you 100%. I don't see Nate Diaz fitting on that card.
Me either.
No. I don't either. But Connor was asking for it, and both of them have said they want to
He
fight.
wants to fight in the Sphere.
What do
He
you
wants to
think?
put
Here we
that
go,
on his
round
resume.
one. This is like Mortal Kombat.
Yep, it is.
They're just bouncing around.
This is the fight that I could pick out of all of them. You know what I mean? This was the
This
toughest
is a
for me.
fun fight.
Yeah, it is definitely.
This, to me, is my main event. I get excited for this.
Because you don't know really what's going to happen, right? I mean,
Right.
you hit Kevin Holland.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I can predict that Kevin Holland is gonna talk shit to MVP in the ring or in the octagon during this.
Oh,
That's
that was
what
a
I
nice
predict.
right.
See, but this is what he's been doing forever.
I think his corner is telling him to calm down. He was bouncing around with him at the beginning of the fight.
Yeah, he has to. He can't follow him.
No, he can't. No. Just
See,
stay
that's
there,
the problem.
Keep your
Kevin
angles.
Holland will play the game. Up here it is.
Yeah.
There's the shot. I didn't think we'd see this so early. It
Well, I don't think that was a shot.
I think he
that was more of a-
stumbled.
fell into it. I'll take it once here.
Travis Luter is no joke on the ground. Let me tell you,
that?
Dallas, Texas, black belt in jiu-jitsu,
That's who's training.
former UFC champion. He's got a black belt in Kevin Holland.
Oh wow. Oh, I didn't know that.
Good dude out in Dallas area. I don't know, one of them suburbs, Dallas area.
The final fight announcement for UFC 300 just came out.
Really?
Yeah, the 14th fight on the card. Money Moicano versus Jalen Turner.
Breaking news. CageMinds.com. Mika Frankl, say it one more time.
Final fight added to UFC 300. It's going to be a top 15 lightweight matchup. Money Moicano, not the Moicano, and Jalen Turner.
That sounds like the second fight on the early prelims to me.
Yeah.
It's still going to be a full one, though.
Sure, well, look, that whole card is loaded.
First fight's still going to be former champion versus
Yeah.
former champion. I'm like this.
I
What's the
believe-
first fight?
The first fight on the early prelims for that card's going to be Garbrandt versus Stevenson Figueiredo.
Early prelims.
Early prelims.
Wow.
Very first fight. It's going to be ridiculous.
I believe you've got 12 current or former champions on that card.
It's an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah.
Oh, the MVP. Up. This is what he does. Puts
This
on a
is his
show.
style, man. It's an ugly style, if you ask me. I don't like it so much, but you know what? He's been successful with it.
Oh, it is a thrilling style to me because I think he can be knocked out at any second because of how
You
sloppy
never know-
it
you
is.
never know
But
when
he
it's
can do
coming.
that.
He's playing with house money.
He keeps changing it up too for
You're
when you see
absolutely
that.
right. He is playing with house money, man. Win or lose, he's not a loser in this fight.
Like you said, he's the Bellator guy. He's not supposed to win.
Exactly.
Oh, he's touching Holland's chin. And he's able to change it up so well. He goes from blasting it with that jab to I'm going to come in with the overhand.
It seriously doesn't seem like it hasn't. Nothing's really landed flush yet.
No, just touching at
Just
this
touching
point.
him.
But still, you talk about those octagon jitters that some guys get. You're not seeing it from MVP. He has enough experience that this
Well,
was
who
just
else
another
is
fight
from
for him.
Bellator has come up to UFC besides Michael Chandler? Is there other-
Eddie
others?
Alvarez, we had
Eddie
Ben
Alvarez
Askren,
had a
Hector
lot of
Lombard.
success.
A champion. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying.
If that's not success, that's the top of the mountain.
Felipe Lins, who was on the card earlier. Jimmy Rivera.
Wait,
who's now-
Felipe who?
Felipe Lins, who beat Ian Kuntalaba, the light heavyweights earlier. He had actually, he was in Bellator, then was in PFL, then came to the UFC.
Josh, anybody on the comments?
Not right now, man.
Yo, my brother just
Yeah.
commented earlier.
Shout out.
I heard you, brother.
What did he say?
Thank you. He was with me and he went for Burns as well.
Yep.
Click, take him down. Oh, he tried, Micah. He tried.
He
You know
went
what?
for it.
How
I
does
thought he
Ben
was good
on
if he
the
went
wrestling?
for
Is
it.
he a good shot taker?
He's more jiu-jitsu.
Okay, gotcha.
Not saying that he can't take you down. Black belt level can take you down.
Definitely. I'm just saying that the wrestling is still a humongous part of this, man. We see so many. We see so many successful wrestlers, man. So many champions.
That's the bread and butter of this sport. If you have that wrestling base, you can learn anything else.
Right.
When you got jiu-jitsu, it's hard to learn wrestling. It's hard to learn the boxing. Wrestling makes you comfortable. Stand it up. Because you really believe nobody's going to take you on the ground.
I agree.
I felt that way. You have felt that way. You know, anybody that has ever wrestled has felt that way. Nobody's going to take you. There's even another wrestler that can whoop your ass.
Yeah.
And grab you by the beard, pick up your chin, and choke you out. Damn black belt.
Well, we got a second, real quick. We got sidetracked a little earlier. We were about to delve into the return of one of the all-time great arm wrestlers or something.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got sidetracked. What's up with that?
All right. So this weekend, March 16th, Saturday, March 16th. Okay. New Mexico State Arm Wrestling is coming to Dirty Bourbon here in Albuquerque, Eubank and Manal. Eubank and Montgomery. It will be the state championship. Me, Dominic Aguilera, I am personally ranked in the nation, ranked number 1 in New Mexico. I've taken some time off.
That's what I'm talking about. Great. I didn't realize we were actually here.
Hey, give us some cheers. Everybody get here.
Yeah, actually, real athlete here.
So check this out. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you. I'm not gonna lie, but I am seriously coming off of the couch for this tournament. I had a lot going on. You know, I had a sale of a house, a purchase of a new house, moving, getting everything together. Been very busy, but I am going to compete this weekend at the New Mexico State Arm Wrestling Championship. It will be Saturday, March 16th at the Dirty Bourbon. It starts at 1 p.m. So anybody that likes to come by, y'all come check it out. It's going to be a fun event. The bar is open. They got food. We'll be there all day.
Oh, wow.
Hey, that's what's up.
Michael Carlisle, your mic's cut off, man. I didn't know you like Duke. UNC, baby.
And I showed up after Duke lost to UNC earlier.
Oh, she just So look at the rivals.
Hey, look at him still representing them after the
Look at
loss.
the rivals right here.
Oh, yeah.
UNC, Duke. Oh.
Hey, on some local stuff. What's going on with the local game tonight, man?
I can
I don't know,
see it.
man.
Jay Williams, Austin Rivers, Zeller. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Kevin Holland takes his bat.
He has not been able to take him down, though. There has not been a successful takedown. Oh, there we go.
Up
As soon as
next
I
is
say-
it's over.
Yep, he got it.
Went to his back.
Good
Save
job,
himself.
Do it.
Here's Premier League right here.
Yep.
Round 2. Holland had to get on it. Finally realized I can't play this game. I'm losing.
He's not rising
You
from the
kinda
dead
gotta-
yet.
Hey, you kind of got to get used to that weird movement. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
at first he was trying to hop around with them, and then he started to get a little bit more grounded. Second round, I think he's getting into his rhythm. So,
Micah, is this discipline for Kevin Holland?
Is this what?
Is this the discipline that we were wondering if he was going to show right here?
This is it. He stayed on the game plan. He's been trying to get in the clinch range, been looking for these takedowns. This is an opportunity. We've seen MVP be offensive with submissions before, but it's not really known for it. This is a bad spot for him against a black belt.
look at that forearm on that throat right there,
Yeah.
man. Look
Right
at how
across the throat.
tight that is, man. You know that
A
that's
little less than 2 minutes. He's got a lifetime to work.
Oh, he does.
Good news, boppers.
Oh, let's get up.
MVP just stood up.
85-36, UNM's winning
still
over
hopping.
Utah State men's basketball.
Oh, wow.
85 to 36.
Oh,
Man, 85-38.
Yes.
They're crushing them.
Utah State right now is #1 in the Mountain West.
They're getting ready for the tournament.
There we go.
Hopefully we don't lay an egg in the Pit West.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Hey, I stopped going to games. Every time I go, they lose. They'll come off the
Please
hot
don't go.
streak. I know.
Please don't go
I'm
anymore.
going. I'm not going no more.
You go to this Josh G, nowpits.com. Any comments?
No, it's been quiet, man. I think
It's 'cause everybody's watching
the fights. Yeah, listen.
This is a nice
watch the
battle
fight.
right here.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be fight of the night. I thought it was going to be a little bit more chaotic. But it's
wow.
a good fight.
It's hard to tell what kind of effect these shots are having on
Yes.
Holland. MVP's landing. Holland's wobbling, but they're. Here's a knockdown.
That was an awkward hit, though. It
Yeah.
was weird.
It was almost like a trip, though. I don't know
Yeah,
if you saw
it was
his
weird.
foot after
Yeah.
that.
But
tripped
the
over
way
his foot.
he hesitated
Yeah.
to get up, that's
Because he was worried that he was going to hit him.
I don't
You
know.
gotta be careful with that. You know what I'm
MVP
saying?
making
MMA,
it interesting
sometimes
in a
don't even sit
round. He
on
was
their
definitely
back.
Well, that was a nice
losing.
kick.
If MVP wins, how many more fights does he have to win to hit a title?
I was sitting here thinking the same thing. I'm going to say one more.
Who? Who would you match him with, Michael Carlisle?
Well, okay, real quick, just bring
Michael,
if they're going back to their 0-2 anytime soon for a fight night, we are making Wonder Boy versus MVP if he wins, because that's just the fight that everybody wants to see.
I would love to
and
see
then
that
after
fight.
that, if he can actually beat one of the young serious contenders, maybe even not. Maybe if he just beats Wonder Boy, you make that fight with Leon Edwards, because that's going to be huge business in the UK.
Why don't you just go straight to Leon Edwards? Why we got a pit stop with Stephen Thompson?
And why not?
I get it.
Why not put it in English?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Go to 0-2. Edwards.
Go
MVP.
check out. Oh my gosh.
Because I don't know if his selling power, even though it would be that great, I don't know if it
Yes, I
jumps
know.
over Chimaev, Shavkat. They're probably going to give one of the young guys a title shot, but ideally, I don't know, maybe you're right. If he wins here, it's spectacular.
Well, who's next in line right now for the welterweight?
Shavkat or Bilal.
So you're saying all those names, asses in seats?
You're probably jumping
Compare to
MVP
this.
into a title fight
Compare
after
to
this.
this.
MVP fights Leon Edwards in London after this.
Right there.
Did
Another good one,
he
too. He's not used to that karate blitz.
No, definitely not.
I think he dodged it and just lay down.
Really? Yeah.
How come he's that was kind of strange.
Yeah, that was weird.
Very weird. Who's winning right now, Micah? In your
It's
opinion?
probably
It's a toss-up.
1-1 on the cards, but I feel like the momentum's in MVP's favor because he started to take over late in that second round.
Every time he says that, man, it's like a takedown.
Right, a takedown
You know,
sets the
honestly,
formula.
I see it right now. 2-0 Holland.
Yeah, I got.
I'm saying in the point structure.
I think, I thought MVP won the first round. I think Holland definitely won the second round, although he may live to regret not locking in that choke when he had the chance.
And it looked like he had it.
He rushed it.
Being that you're a black belt, he had it under the neck. He should have already locked it. It went right behind his shoulder blade, and he could have sunk it, and it would have been over.
Takedown.
He rushed it.
Yeah.
He got excited or maybe overzealous. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he doesn't got really position.
No, and he stood right back up.
Yeah, that was nothing.
That's pretty impressive.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's impressive.
Well, what do you
Just
think
shook him
he's
off.
training for when he's going against Kevin Holland? Takedown defense. Get up.
Oh, big right hand.
Guys, I have some bad news. I read this wrong score.
Oh no!
What?
87-85 final. UNM lost.
Oh!
State. Oh, wow. I apologize. Darius Brown, the second, hits game-winning three-pointer to give number 22 Utah State.
How do you misread that?
85. Because the numbers are changing on the score on just Google search.
Got you. Yeah.
Over in New Mexico. Dang, that's our last game.
Yep. No tournament.
No, we're in we're all playing in the tournament, but we're going to the Mountain West tournament. Oh,
Back of the head.
no. Oh, beautiful spin back elbow.
Oh dang, he's just tossing him, man.
Yeah, man, he looks tired. Kevin Holland looks exhausted right now.
Younger guy, should be able to push that pace. He's not. He's
Yeah,
fighting
a lot
MVP's
younger.
fight.
A lot less wear and tear on his body as well in terms of combat sports, and you would think he would be able to do that.
He's getting hit, so I'm sure that tires you out. It's these sudden
Wow,
bursts.
if he chokes him, he
That
had
would've
it
been
back. I was
insane.
like, oh my gosh. Well, Micah, it looks like you're the genius of the group tonight.
Well, for this
That's
one
not very
particular
much,
fight,
but hey.
make it all up from all of us taking Gilbert Burns a minute ago.
Oh, it's okay. No, MVP, man, I didn't think he was going to show up on this big stage. I really didn't.
He's
What is Kevin Holland ranked right now?
13th, I think. Yeah, 13th.
Okay, so check this out. When Michael Chandler came into the UFC, he fought, dang it, now I can't remember the guy's name. Annihilated him.
Micah, do you remember?
Man, who was his debut against? Was it Dan Hooker?
Yes, it was Dan Hooker. What was
It
wasn't Dan Hooker top 5?
No, he was in the top 15.
Oh, okay.
He was in the top
So same
15.
thing then. Same scenario then, basically.
Yeah.
What they did
And people are kind of booing, but I don't know why. But I guess they expected more of like, hey, let's just throw the win and pray whoever connects. Which that's not. Ooh, that's good.
That overhand right has been hitting all night long.
Yeah, I
For
think
MVP.
I think MVP's winning this fight.
Handily right now.
Yeah. But I don't understand these people kind of booing in the background. This is a good fight. This is a good technical fight. Michael Venom Page is impressing me. Because honestly, I thought he could do that on the lower shows, Bellator, or anything lower. I did not expect him to come to the UFC and do these movements that he's doing. I just don't.
He's getting pissed.
Yeah, he's getting mad.
Yeah,
But that's good. That's a frustration. Yeah, that's good. Come at him.
MVP's inside his head. He can't close the distance. He can't
that's the
find
And
it.
look, there's another overhead right.
And then you see how weak that kick was? He's tired, man.
Yeah.
Just gonna get
What?
held here. And the lights. Oh, okay.
It looked like the lights went out, right?
Just hold him! Yeah. Hey,
Hey, that was almost like no mas right there, manos de izquierda. You know what I mean?
Like those
Very-
somebody's on the floor.
Very, very frustrated.
Yeah.
And
Spit out your mouthpiece.
yes,
Look,
that does.
let's see.
He's like, calm down, dude.
I'm
This
not
is
sure, man.
entertainment.
I can't call this fight right now on the winner.
So you think he's next? I mean, it makes sense as we're talking about it. And
Yeah, it's just hitting me now because I would have said the Wonder Boy fight, maybe someone else in the top five.
That's a fun fight. That's for later.
Ordinarily, I would agree with you. But since you specifically brought up O2 and going to London, then F it. Just go ahead and make Edwards and MVP while you can, and try to get a huge payday. Throw Patty on that card somewhere. Put
So
the can on the card somewhere.
if they do make that fight happen, the Leon fight, title fight right after this one, I mean it's Leon all the way, correct?
100%. The
I don't
problem
know.
with that, we're sitting here talking about. I'm not sure who won this fight. I can't definitely say MVP won. I don't know that he was spectacular enough.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. So
I don't even know if they can make that
Are you-
matchup based on the performance. Is what I'm
Are
saying.
you sure that Edwards is always spectacular though?
no, but
everybody is.
he's the champion, and we're talking MVP with his UFC debut, and now they're trying to put him in a title fight.
Sure, but you put him in there, styles make fights.
Well, there's also a real good possibility that I do get my idea correct. We get Wonder Boy versus MVP, but it's just like the feature fight.
That's
as
a
a
fun
pay-per-view that Leon Edwards is headlining, so that he's the alternate. And you're
In
still putting
England?
him right there, exactly, and you still have him on the same
Okay.
card.
You know what, I
Idea.
would love to see that right there.
Let's see what they call.
20,
All
29,
three, yeah.
28.
MVP.
I think it's MVP, honestly.
Yep.
MVP.
This is the only one that I did not want to bet on.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Josh, hit the commercials, man. Let's take a quick pee break. We'll be back. So these guys.
The B-Town with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com.
This for the 505, always ready to ride. Every time I come around, I'm repping my town. I'm some red, yellow. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that red, yellow. Red paint, cross a yellow flag. This is the gang with the ghetto.
The B-Town with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com.
This for the 505, always ready to ride. Every time I come around, I'm repping my town. I'm some red, yellow. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that red, yellow. Red paint, cross a yellow flag. This is the gang with the ghetto.
The B-Town with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com.
This for the 505, always ready to ride. Every time I come around, I'm repping my town. I'm some red, yellow. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that red, yellow. Red paint, cross a yellow flag. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that red, yellow. Red paint, cross a yellow flag. This is the gang with the ghetto.
The B-Town with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com.
This for the 505, always ready to ride. Every time I come around, I'm repping my town. I'm some red, yellow. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that red, yellow. Red paint, cross a yellow flag. This is the gang with the ghetto.
The B-Town with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com.
This for the 505, always ready to ride.
And we're good.
The Beatdown with Friends live podcast for UFC 299. We're back. I believe we're on the co-main event, correct?
Co-main event.
Co-main event. It's powered by NowPrince.com. We are inside Dapper Barber Parlor downtown where they can get pretty like Sal Mora.
Yes, y'all come on by. We're at 5836 Osuna Road Northeast. You can either walk in or call and make an appointment. Shop phone is 884-505-884-4647. Come on by.
And then we also got CageMinds.com, the #1 site for combat sports news and sports entertainment news, because we do both. Micah, how was the wrestling last weekend?
There was a lot of good wrestling last weekend.
And we're talking sports entertainment wrestling, not collegiate wrestling.
Professional wrestling, at Duke City Championship Wrestling and
Real
Phase
quick.
1 Pro, both here in the land of enchantment.
Go ahead.
Hey,
Barber
congratulations
Yep.
to the new HOF right here in the UFC, the third inductee here in 2024.
Modern era wing Joanna.
Joanna champion, the greatest strawweight champion thus far in UFC history, was the most dominant. The fights were epic, and she struck fear into the girls that she fought.
I like how you said Kurt right now. Because I have an issue when people say, oh, the greatest woman this, the great. They are at a point where, and no knock to them, because they just started a little later, they're at the Randy Couture stage. Not saying that he can't be considered the greatest, but you match him against any guy today, nah, sorry, you ain't holding your weight against John Jones. You ain't holding your weight against Francis Ngannou at heavyweight.
So I actually got asked this on the Mike Adams show
Yeah.
this morning. Do you have Couture in your top 5 all-time heavyweights?
I have the top 10.
Top 10?
Top 10. Who are your top 5?
Top 5, I went Fedor, Miocic, Velasquez, Mir, and Couture.
Yeah.
That was just off the top of my head.
I can live with that, and I can say I agree with that. But I would say top 10 only because the game's changing. And it's not changing for NBA better. Meaning you can't hand check, you can't do stuff like that. The game is evolving where these guys are coming in jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing, kickboxing, taekwondo. They have it all.
Well, you know what's crazy is that mixed martial arts, when they first started this stuff, it was people from completely different disciplines coming in together to fight against each other.
It
You
was
know
a
what I'm saying?
promotion for
And
Gracie's
nowadays,
jiu-jitsu.
think about it now, okay? We are seeing people that practice MMA from a very young age. The sport is going to continue evolving.
Little kids. Not that I agree with it all the way. I think they should, but they got to take precautions with these kids.
I agree with you.
For CTE.
So we're talking about locally. I am so excited to see the development, and you've seen them before.
Yeah.
Hondo and Sergio Gutierrez.
Yes.
They've grown up at Fit NHB. So to see like those kids coming into Sergio's just starting his amateur career, and Hondo just turned pro. To see guys like that literally grew up in a room doing MMA since 6 years old. That's the turn that we're going to see with the talent that's coming
I
up
totally
now.
agree with that. There's so many different people that have come up and have done great things with disciplines that they grew up with, completely different from MMA. It's not going to be like that in the future.
No, you have Professor Ox kids. He's going to be kickboxing, and I watched a video of his kickboxing sparring. I was like, whoa. And he's ranked top 5 in jiu-jitsu, but his dad's Muay Thai. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu also. And you see his dad from old school going to Thailand and whooping on Thai fighters. No BS. And you see that in his kickboxing. So these kids are evolving.
Yes, it's going to be.
And
This is going to be a evolved sport. It hasn't even reached its pinnacle yet. There's no way. Like you see basketball or football or any of these things. This sport is still evolving.
100, yeah, look, baseball, over 100 years. Football, over 100 years. Basketball, over 100 years. You're barely 30 years into to UFC.
Baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is a baby sport.
When do you think they'll hit their ceiling? And what mistakes would trip them up to get closer to that ceiling faster?
Outpricing your pay-per-views for your audience.
Do you think we're getting closer and closer to that?
I've thought that for the last 3 or 4 years, and it hasn't happened yet.
This $80,
Well, everything's going up, man.
True.
Like people are just gonna keep evolving to the prices that they have to pay for whatever it may be, whether it be entertainment, food, gas,
Let's just say haircuts.
services, anything.
Because I remember at Sportsman's, where everybody used to go to the North
Yes,
Valley,
definitely.
$5 to $10 haircuts. Now you're paying $30 to $40 a haircut.
Right.
Quality goes up. It's just the way it goes. So maybe, but I know, and I consider myself a hardcore fan. I don't know if I'd pay the $80 every single time.
Right. 13 times a year, 14 times a year.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is that UFC has so many events. They have so many pay-per-view events, you know what I mean? Put that into your budget. See how much you're paying for the entire year to watch pay-per-view events of the UFC. You're going to be looking at $1,000.
Yeah, well, in addition to the 15 or so bucks a month you're paying to watch the fight nights on ESPN Plus.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, which all that is fine, but at some point in time, you do start to price people out.
At what point also, forget pricing us out on pay-per-views. It is really a upper echelon crowd that's a live audience. So when was the last time you looked at a UFC ticket? When we were standing in line for UFC 285 for the John Jones Cyril Gane fight, I remember hearing a guy walk up to the window, and you could clearly hear him, "Hey, how much is a ticket?" And they're like, "Oh, walk up right now, $900 a ticket." He's like, "Wait, what? Okay, I'm gonna go find a bar, thanks."
And
$900 to get in the door.
Talking front row.
Yeah. No, I'm certain that was somebody.
You're talking
That
about
was sticking
binoculars.
your nose, digging up deep, and letting blood come down.
you're probably paying about half a fighter's show money just to get on the floor for a UFC event. now.
At that point in time, you were looking at a resale ticket day of. I'm certain you could have found something a little cheaper on one of the other sites, but yeah, going to the box office like that. But you bring up a good point. The audience is a lot more affluent than I think sometimes it gets credit for. I think you assume it's good old boys who love a good beat down and whatever, a good
It's
fight.
not the Just Bleed guy anymore.
I don't think it is.
No.
Otherwise, they couldn't sustain the ticket prices or the pay-per-view prices.
Well, I heard it today. There was a gentleman in the seat, and I say gentleman, he's a kid. He's like 25 to 28. He's around my kid's age. He knew every single one of these young fighters. He was talking about it ins and outs. He was in Juarez, he said, during for the UFC
Yes, and
Mexico City
just
part.
to let you know, he does practice MMA and jiu-jitsu. He is an active fighter.
But he's a youngster that knew ins and outs of everything. He said that it was down there. That was my point. But yeah, they're very fluid in this sport, and it's I guess. Just as the fighters evolve, the fans evolve.
Well, also too, I mean, if you think about it, okay, you see, like, say the Super Bowl, okay? I was in Vegas for the Super Bowl. When I landed Sunday morning in Vegas, okay? We were
Who
talking.
won that Super Bowl, by the way? Not the
Buccaneers!
It was fixed.
Anyway, this guy, he was talking to us, right? And he says, oh yeah, well, prices have gone down for tickets to $5,500. But also, we're talking about a once-a-year event.
Right.
I think that the UFC has a once-a-month pay-per-view, correct?
Yep.
How 12 pay-per-views a year, would you say?
I think they do. It winds up 13 or 14, but yeah, it's roughly once a month. Sometimes
Yeah, so I mean, like, okay, that's a...
Someone just put like $120,000 on Benoit Saint Denis. He's the favorite. It said the payout was $174. That's
$174?
No, he put $120,000
To win $174.
Yeah.
Hey, babe, who
Hey, $50,000
Well, hey, I'm saying, as long as it wasn't Drake, I think Benoit
And Drake bet on somebody, and I meant to say, he bet on Francis. That's why Francis.
Oh, 60K, right?
Yes, and I was letting Whitney know, like, anytime Drake bets on fights, you're done. It don't matter who you are.
There should be a betting website that tracks that to let
Yes.
everybody know. All right, Drake here. Yeah, you want to do this instead.
Absolutely.
Hey, you know what though?
Sorry.
I don't think I would have ever put my money on Francis Ngannou yesterday.
I would have.
No, not me.
I would have.
Depending on how big of an underdog he was.
No, but the thing is though too is that like I said, I believe 100% when I saw that fight, Tyson did not take that fight seriously. He didn't look in shape. He looked slow. He didn't look like the Tyson. He did not look like the Tyson Fury that went out to fight another championship boxer.
So throw the conversation all out of whack. Random question on this.
Yeah.
Do you think it's better, from a fan's perspective, if a athlete like Poirier, I knew what song was going to play right now. He always walks out to this song. Is it better to do that, or is it better to MVP Adesanya, be more creative, fluent, change? Like you had Robbie Lawler, John Jones, Jose Aldo, Dustin Poirier. I know their walkout songs. I know what song they're coming out to.
I think you need both. You need the mix of both.
Agreed.
I like the entertainment side of things. I really do. I think more of them, like when Kobe comes out to, what's that wrestler's name?
Kurt Angle's music.
And everybody knows, you suck. And they say it. It's crazy. And I'm like, but that's what you need.
You know what, though? I personally, as a fan, don't care. I get my excitement from the fight. That's what I want to see.
But I'm like you. I like a little variety. Everybody doesn't need to do the same thing, whether it's spectacular and
It
flashy.
doesn't matter to me, not at all, not one bit.
You knew when Carlos Condit hit the cage.
Right, you knew. You know when John Dodson's coming out.
We were gonna bring him and sit him down.
Let's go, we need.
Knucklemania 4 headliner, Thiago Alves, Dustin Poirier's corner, just throwing it out there real quick. Next guy to fight Mike Perry.
Quick fight prediction before the fight starts, guys. Any changes?
I'm going to stick with Poirier. I'm going to ride with the old guy because this is a close one. I think it's closer than the betting odds have it.
Poirier.
I said the same. We're all in agreement. Josh
Oh, damn, I'm thinking I was saying
what
to
do you
me.
say?
Experience.
You don't even know what you're talking about, do you?
Poirier.
That's all I know. Yeah, hit the cheer button for us real quick.
Hey!
Never been so confident in St. Denis.
Right? Elvis. Who's he fighting in BKFC?
Wait, which one?
His corner guy.
Alves. Oh, Mike Perry, headliner, Knucklemania 4,
Los Angeles.
Los
correct?
Angeles.
Hunt.
Lorenzo Hunt vacating his 2 titles, moving up to heavyweight to challenge Nick Terrell. At least he did the honorable thing and vacated both belts, keeping the divisions moving.
Now, is he the king of bare knuckle fighting if he wins this match?
First 3 division champion in the sport. He has kept them
Dominating
going.
people.
He's been on the cards since Toe the Line. So, yeah, no, he is the lifeblood of that foundation, even though Mike Perry is the biggest draw.
So he should be in the Hall of Fame for BKFC. We just saw Joanna go in. When it's time.
You know the interesting thing, and I don't know all of the background, but the Police Gazette magazine that basically runs the
They're the
Bare
ones
Knuckle
that
Hall
do
of
bare
Fame.
knuckle.
They used to be associated with BKFC. Like when
Yeah,
Beck
it
Rollins
was a
became
while
the
back.
first flyweight champion for BKFC, she actually won their diamond belt.
Both
Well,
times.
now that Police Gazette, they're basically affiliated with Dutta 5000's BYB Bare Knuckle Extreme. And they, well, it might be a money change. It's also BKFC went We Are Bare Knuckle Fighting,
Right.
and
Not
the other
bare
one
knuckle
is a
boxing.
lot more aligned with boxing in the rule set and in the weight classes.
Yeah,
So
that's good.
that might also, hopefully something like that doesn't keep Hunt out because he is a legend now in the sport, even just winning 2 titles.
How impressed are you with Dustin and his physique and how in shape he looks, guys?
Oh man, he looks incredible, man.
Man,
He,
all
you
of
know
us-
what? Coming off of that loss, that knockout loss that he took, man, you know, he's a fighter. He is a contender. He is one of the best in the world at this weight class. I don't think he's going to take another loss like that.
He had us all worried a couple weeks ago, and he was like, I'm not fighting at UFC 299. So to see him look this good, you know, I was a little worried that he wasn't taking Benoit Saint Denis seriously when there was the whole communication talk between his management team and the UFC.
Yep. Say what you want about Poirier, good, bad, indifferent. I've never seen him not ready for a fight.
Absolutely. Here we go. Let's see if we are all geniuses or we all went to APS. Possibly.
3 of the 4 of us did.
APS. 3 of the 4.
Oh,
For yourselves.
There you go. Black belt.
he has
That's it.
Benoit Saint Denis has
Hey,
survival
Scrabble.
instincts.
That was
Wow,
awesome.
that was panic instinct, I think.
I'm not going to lie, that was a weak
That was
scramble
so
by
close.
Poirier.
Well, you want to conserve energy also.
Yeah, but you got to get out there. Get back to your feet.
Is it that he's
I'm not saying
Comfortable.
it's that easy or that comfortable. It doesn't matter.
Which one?
that he didn't
Scramble out of there.
scramble super hard right out the gate?
He's a veteran. I think he's just letting it come to him. He's not overreacting.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, but you don't want to be in this position either.
But he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I'm not saying that he can't get choked out, get caught. But I think he's comfortable. I really do. And he's talking to the rest. Something's going on. Oh, he's hanging onto his glove. He's doing them veteran moves.
Yep.
Remember when Dad Henderson used to cover their mouth?
You can still do that.
Yeah, but everybody's called him dirty, and I'm like, no, it's in the rule set.
It's one of the things I miss about watching John Jones is he's not as active. I used to always do that inside the guard. Just cover their mouth, disrupt the breathing, make them work harder.
And then the knee to the kick to the knee.
Oh, that was a good
nice.
1-2 right there.
Yeah.
Now he's going short choke, changing it up.
He's got to push him up against
Pick your
Spencer.
nose. Pick your nose. That's what my professor used to always say. When you get that, act like you're picking your nose and you'll choke him out. So.
Ooh, you got to push him up against Spence, though.
Yep. If he would have and turned his front foot, he may have put him down.
There's like this crazy toughness about Saint Denis, how he just marches forward.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, he was part of their special forces, correct?
French Foreign Legion, Special Forces, something
he
like
don't
that.
fear nothing either, and that's toughness that you can't count out. Anybody that's in the military.
And we're talking about life
Oh,
and
man,
death.
it's not real military. It's the French military. Who have they ever beaten? I mean, come on. I'm kidding.
That is the thoughts of
I'm
Mr.
kidding.
Carlisle. You can contact him at
Comment.
Hey, I was thinking Jean-Claude Van Damme. What was that movie?
All of them?
Yeah, but what was that movie where he goes and he's the French?
I am the Legionnaire.
Yeah, something like that.
Lionheart?
Lionheart.
Thank you, Lionheart. Yeah.
There you go.
Should have known that's the movie Chris Jericho got his name from, right?
Have you seen him cook his food or something, whatever he had on that F It Friday with Dana White?
Oh.
Who, Party?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it, but I've seen different versions of the hot sauce. Never tried it yet.
Yeah, if you go in there, he puts it like in ice cream, and he actually eats it.
Hot sauce and ice cream?
Yeah, he looks like he's gonna throw up. And he's like, "This is good."
Time out. This is New Mexico, where we put green chili on literally everything. We put green chili in wine. I would at least try hot sauce and ice cream. I mean, now, it's kind of nasty.
I don't
try it.
I don't
wouldn't
like
try
green
it.
chili and wine. I don't like
Well, I don't either, but I mean, a lot of people do.
Green chili and wine?
Yeah.
wine. Yeah, green
yeah.
chili wine.
Yeah.
Anything kind of like that candy with the chili.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
I like that.
Yeah, a lot of people do, man, and I can't get with it. I never have.
Any type of food, though. So
I am shocked at this ride time right now.
Right?
That he's hanging on to Dustin's back. But again, Dustin is letting him wear down. He's
veteran. He's smart.
locked him up. He feels safe.
Answer the phone. Answer the phone. Both ears. He's answering two phones. I didn't see this fight like this.
And he's calm. Oh,
nice.
He let it go. I don't think he's gonna get that.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Oh, he got. Oh my God.
It's fine.
No, he's good.
That was
They went parallel, so
Yeah.
he's safe, guys.
What?
It just looks bad. It's not bad.
I think Poirier won that round, but I don't think it ended the way he wanted it to.
See, and the way I think judges are looking at it, I think they're looking at the end. And
Maybe.
that's where they may. I'm just trying to look at I feel the same way, but
who knows how they feel?
And I feel judges should have to go through MMA. I feel like they should have to go through jiu-jitsu. They should have to wrestle. I'm not saying they have to compete, but just feel the positions, just so they understand. And I don't think a lot of them do.
Agreed.
What's that old fighter that's a judge? I forget his name.
Frank Trigg.
Yes. And a ref.
Yeah.
I love it. I wish more ex-fighters, retired fighters, would get into it more. They see it, they feel it, they know when the fighters are safe, when they're not safe. You're not going to see a lot of early
It's like
calls.
Poirier, and you brought up. I don't think he was trying to do anything crazy because he felt comfortable. Even in that position, so he didn't feel the need that early in the fight to do something crazy to try to get out of it and compromise himself.
Here we go, round 2. Micah, your thoughts on round 1?
I might give the round to Saint Denis at the end, but now he got
And it's deep.
And now he's deep in the.
Oh, no,
He's gonna pop his head out.
He's got space.
Poirier, if I was in his corner, I'd be begging,
He's
stop selling out for these guillotines.
Yeah, he needs to stop
keeps
doing
going.
that.
It's 4 times now. You're not gonna get it.
But you want to see the veteranness of him? He let it go. When he knew he didn't have it, he let it go.
Oh, unfortunately, he's mounted though. Now this is a tricky position.
Yeah. Let's see.
Get him. Oh no. Both hooks in. Oh, they were.
Uh-oh.
Oh man, it was him. Dustin always loses by rear naked choke. Don't forget that. Oliveira.
I don't know how he let it go.
Man, there was at least 2 of them.
Oh, he got it. Wait.
Oh,
Oh, he beat Chandler with one. Right, Nurmagomedov.
Nurmagomedov
No, it's not.
and
It's on his
Oliveira.
chin, so he's gonna try and break his chin.
It's all off.
That's good. Where'd you get it from? It's nice.
My buddy's making there's an 8-grammer.
No way. I know. It's okay. I was like,
Oh, nice reversal.
Oh,
It tastes like
this is back and forth. This is a good fight.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch or like pancake or something.
I like it. You know what? Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That's what it is, huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to reevaluate my toughness thoughts on the French Foreign Legion.
Uh-oh. Again, these are the doctors of Michael Carlisle. You can email him. What's your email again? Nope. Nope at gmail.com. Again, guys, this is the Beatdown with Friends live event podcast for UFC 299, powered by NowPrince.com. We're inside Dapper Barber Parlor. We're watching the co-main event. They're going back and forth. Poirier and how do you say this other guy's?
Saint Denis. Saint Denis.
With the win by either man. Where does that go? Micah.
Oh, good.
Okay, so if you're Saint Denis, you're not. But you're about to get knocked out by Poirier, the straight
There he
lefts.
goes again.
He's not used to the southpaw. That look is hurting him.
See, this is where I thought that he needed to stay, was on the feet where he was having
You can
success.
keep your points of view.
You're right. Yeah, French Foreign Legion sucks.
Yeah.
So when I was giving the commercial, I was trying to point out, did you see Saint Denis took a big deep breath and you could see Poirier reset. And right there he found his rhythm and started landing those lefts. Then the right hand came.
Well, you think about it too. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
But anyway, the only reason that Saint Denis looked like he was in control is because Poirier kept trying to pull that guillotine.
Right.
And then he'd get into bad position. Pull the guillotine, get into bad position. Stay on your feet, use what you know. There you go. You made it happen.
Well, and like Sal said, he never panicked either. He
No.
was let go. All right, I'm not in a good spot now, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to figure out a way out of this. And then eventually did. No, I was going to point out for those who care about such things, Donald Trump's in attendance, and he seemed very happy that Poirier took out the Frenchie. So
That'll never change. Whatever his point of views are, let me tell you, that guy let the UFC into his building when nobody else would.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Trump Casino. Back in the day, before he was running for president or anything else, he was part of the reason why these guys survived.
you could count on one hand the number of places UFC could go, and you'd have plenty of fingers left over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, and there were stories where if they put the fights on, they were all getting arrested. By the police. You know, that's where this sport was 25 years ago.
Wow.
And I say that because we're almost at 30, or we are at 30.
Yeah, we're just past 30.
So,
Yeah.
you're looking at between 1 and 5 years. The first year and the 5th year.
Regardless
And
of
one more
the
time.
politics, MMA fans do owe Donald Trump a bit of gratitude for that.
And everybody always asks me, why don't they boo him? It's because they saved him. He was part of it, saving the sport. He really was.
Well, what was it? Like illegal in 48 states or
Yeah.
something like that?
It
48
was
states illegal.
human cockfighting.
Yeah.
The whole BS back in the day.
Well, think about the smart thing that they did. You know, there's not a lot of sports, but there are sports that happen like this. UFC being the biggest one now, where all they had to do, make weight classes and sanction it.
Yeah.
Bam.
But
there it is.
It's easier said than done. Thank you, Big John McCarthy, for being smart enough, being a black belt, having those police credentials behind him from Los Angeles, and being a part of it, that he helped set those rules.
Yeah.
Micah, you were saying, where do these two guys go now?
I'm thinking, well, you were going to see possible title contention. This puts Poirier back into that big fight opportunity. You have at 300, like Saryukian taking on Oliveira. It puts him back in that
So
mix.
Oliveira is fighting at UFC 300?
Yeah, he's taking on Arman Saryukian in a title
I was wondering what was
eliminator.
going on there because you know what? I kind of feel like he's been blackballed from the title contention. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on with that? Don't you think he's earned it back?
Well, he should have got it because he had to pull out the fight with the
Yeah,
cup, but they
Toronto,
decided
right?
he didn't,
Yeah.
so that's what they decided. And now the winner will fight Islam Makhachev, in June in Saudi Arabia.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they're going to do that
So
pay-per-view,
that's what
and
they're gonna
Islam's
do?
headlining that
So it's not a
card.
fight night anymore.
No, it won't be a fight night. It's going to be a pay-per-view now that it's changed. Islam already said he's headlining it. It's going to be June 6th, so that means the winner in April has to hurry up and get right back into camp.
Now-
or Dustin Poirier might get the fight.
Yeah, I was saying, if the winner can't go, it might be Poirier. Because remember, Gaethje's tied up at 300 with Holloway.
Yep.
So yeah, if the winner of the Oliveira fight can't make that turnaround, you might see Poirier get it.
Or if they really
55 is like one of the most competitive divisions, but between these small circle of people. They keep winning,
Yes.
they keep taking out people that are supposed to be up and coming, and then all of a sudden it ends up them again. And then there's just a clusterfuck of what the fuck is going on, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's ended up waiting, and they have to fight
Somebody
these other
tries
fights.
to creep up, and then they get knocked back down, like Beneil Dariush.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, it's that same Poirier, Gaethje, Oliveira are all right there.
Yeah, I agree.
It's interesting. I personally know the headaches of matchmaking. It's not fun. It's not easy. Big whiteboard, always erasing names, adding names.
Right.
I can only imagine what Mick Maynard and company are having to do right now.
Well, you know, they've been creating some pretty good matchups here, man. And, you know, like we said here, there's only one upset as far as the old guy goes this fight, which was Gilbert Burns. And that was only at the end of round 3, you know what I mean? And he was winning that fight.
So the old guys have the staying power. What do they do with the young guys that failed tonight?
right now for Benoit Saint Denis, I think you just fall a little bit back down in that top 15 mix. And there's a guy like Drew Dober who's, I think, a knockout, just coming off of a knockout, who's someone that perennially floats around the top 15. So I think you give someone like Saint Denis someone just outside. So it's not really like a tune-up fight, but it's just that fight that you're making sure that they still deserve to be in the rankings. So I think that's where these young guys go. They go back in battling a tested entity, but not another super prospect.
Okay, so on the other side of things, what about JDM? Where does he go now?
Man, he's
I
in
mean,
some...
he didn't necessarily have a dominant fight against. He caught Burns.
Well,
he caught him with that knee. You know what I'm saying? Where does he go now? What's next for him? I agree. This sport right here could change in a heartbeat. We've all seen it over and over and over again. So on the other side of things, you know, when we see the old guys win, they get knocked back down. Okay, the new guy just beat the old dude. Where does he go now?
Other ball. More cross promotion. WWE United States Champion Logan Paul in the crowd. That's
he's also
energy.
a sponsor. Hey, what do you guys think about it? Real quick, what do you guys think about him being the first sponsor in the center of the? Or was that just a BS?
No, I'm sure that's a thing, and that feels like a TKO thing, a very UFC-minded thing, and we were talking about not too long ago.
You see the pop that they're all getting.
Did you hear that? Crowd went wild when they showed him.
Crazy.
I mean, you're just following what boxing already did. New Japan Pro Wrestling already does it. They have sponsorship stickers everywhere they can, on the apron, on the mat, on the turnbuckles. It's only a matter of time.
So, and it's interesting because I think it was Ari or one of the top executives for TKO. They said they're gonna put anywhere they can. They're gonna put advertisement inside the building.
This is the main fight.
Well, and that's where the synergy between UFC and WWE really comes into play, because now you can go to sponsors and not just offer one or the other. You can offer them both. Hey, we'll put you on the octagon canvas. We'll also put you on the canvas at SummerSlam or at WrestleMania or every week on Raw or whatever. So it's, sponsorship, things like that. I think is where you're really going to see things start to take off with TKO between WWE and UFC.
So you're gonna see that cross-pollination of sponsors.
I think you'll see a whole lot more of that than you will UFC fighter taking part in WrestleMania or a WWE guy trying their hand inside an octagon.
What's that bro guy's name? The one that used to wrestle for WWE?
Matt Riddle.
Do you think he'll go back?
I think he's on a do not touch
MMA
list
fighter.
right now.
Right, yeah. He is not currently in WWE. And I think he would have a really hard time with the drug tests.
Yeah.
Based on his own things that he said about why things didn't work out in WWE, I think the drug tests would be a
Are you
problem.
talking about cannabis?
No, he was doing.
other stuff, okay.
He tested positive for cocaine reportedly.
Reportedly, yes.
Yeah, reportedly, allegedly. Not trying to get sued here.
Okay, it's one thing to talk shit about the French
but-
Legion, but
Yeah,
trying to get
it's
sued by
a
anybody.
legend. And he's openly talked about it.
Yeah.
and whatnot, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, just curious because he's one of the legit guys.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And he made the transition over to their side, and now to come back, I mean, it would kind of.
Yeah. Along those lines, it would be easier if you were looking to do something like that to take a UFC guy and put them in a WWE ring than try to do vice versa. Because you're right, they're only probably, again, count on one hand the number of people in WWE who would have the amateur credentials to even attempt something like an actual UFC fight.
You were pointing at the TV with the odds?
Yeah, I was looking at the odds. The odds went up actually 10 points, plus 255 for O'Malley. I'm not sure if it changed for Cheeto Vera, but it was at plus 255 O'Malley.
Who's
Heavy-
next?
Oh, that
heavy
came down.
favorite.
Merab Dvalishvili should be next.
I agree.
Don't
He
know.
is hungry.
He is hungry. That all changes if Marlon Vera wins, because if you're Corey Sandhagen, you start jumping around. I just dominated that dude.
Well, and if you're Sean O'Malley, you pretend like it didn't happen, like the last fight, and you demand a rematch.
You have seen like give it to
I think they will.
They might.
But
They'll give it to him,
I think they'll give
even
him
if
a
it's 2-0 Marlon.
I think they will because he's champion.
Well,
They feel like he is a very popular entity, which I still feel like
yeah,
is
and I
somewhat
agree
debatable.
with that.
According to Al Germain, he's not.
And
According
even
to his pocketbook.
even if you look at the UFC YouTube page, I think it was his highlights knocking out Aljamain got like 280, almost 300,000 views. Ilya Taporia was like 480,000.
That's
for being
because,
cool.
Micah, everybody bought that O'Malley pay-per-view.
hey, check this out,
That's
though,
how
man.
popular he is.
Like I said, though,
Really, that's what it was.
No, I don't believe that for a second. Just
Micah, you were talking about that he is a huge entity for the UFC. Like I said, the Latino community is starting to grow huge in popularity with the UFC. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Did you see the press conference?
Yes.
For this?
Yes.
Oh, they were going crazy for
It was
Cheeto.
incredible. Like in favor of Cheeto. Over, of course, they're in Miami. You know what I mean, where there's a huge Latino population. But the thing is, like, I don't think either way they lose as far as what they're trying to go for as far as pushing the narrative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One person as opposed to a whole culture. Well, I don't know, man. It's a little bit different.
That's a fair point.
Now, what are we feeling here? We're getting towards the main event. You guys want to throw out your predictions all the way already?
You shoot.
I'm going unanimous decision. It goes all the way for Sean O'Malley. I believe he's more fluid. I believe he has more tricks. And Chito Vera has never been knocked down or stopped, so this is going to be a long fight.
Well, tonight's the night for first, because I said it earlier. I'm going to stick with it. O'Malley, third round TKO.
I think Chito Vera is very hungry. I believe that he is going to come out a little bit quicker in this fight because he knows he has to. And if he does, he's going to win.
I hope he doesn't come out reckless, wild, a little bit faster for the first round. And I say, and you.
Well, hopefully
That
Marlon
throws a wrench in everything.
went with that Marab style and gets a really good warm-up in so he doesn't come out so cold. Like we said, slow starter, everyone's slow starter. That's the biggest worry. You're going to be playing from behind on an O'Malley that finds his reach and manages distance from the get-go really well.
I agree. And you know what? The thing is, too, like, I go back to his worst appearance in the UFC, which I think is Corey Sandhagen. I don't even think he started fighting until the middle of the fourth round.
Keep going.
Oh, I didn't think he started fighting in the middle of the fourth round, so it was just like, he cannot get that slow start. If he goes down 0-2, he's going to be having a very, very hard time in this fight.
Unless he feels like there's no way O'Malley's knocking me out, I'll let him do what he wants the first couple of rounds and get tired, and then I'll take over. But again, that's a dangerous
But
strategy.
O'Malley is patient.
Agreed.
He is a patient fighter. You kind of have to push the pace a little bit on that.
Yeah.
You have to make him fight.
Absolutely. Josh D with nowprince.com. Any comments?
No, it's been quiet. I think
Nice.
everybody's watching,
Hey,
listening.
man, what is your prediction on?
Hey, let's get yours.
I don't know,
Let's get
man.
everybody's prediction in the room. Why not? This is the
Hey,
main
there
event.
you go. Let's do it. Call your boys over here. Call your guys.
Hey, Ray, Money,
Come give your predictions on the main event.
just tell us who you think's gonna
All you
win.
gotta say, you don't know who's gonna win. There you go.
All right, Monaco does not know who's gonna win. Neither do I. Oh, he just screamed out Sean
Now he
O'Malley.
said Sean
Who
O'Malley.
you got?
If I would have to guess off his performance, Sean O'Malley.
Uh-oh.
Whitney. Come give your prediction.
I'm gonna go Marlon Vera.
Yay!
Come on, you gotta say, you can't just wave at us.
I'm going for whatever.
Marlon Vera.
There we go.
Vera.
There you go.
Vera, there we go.
Hey, we got a
Where's
split
the
room
little
here.
guy?
The little guy's gonna break it here.
Little man took off for a second.
He went to go bump it in the car.
Oh, he's listening to us. Right on. I don't know. We'll see what happens here shortly.
Hey, Marlon Vera looks very good though, man. He looks ready. He's been, he's pretty much a veteran in the UFC if you really think about it, man. He's had a lot of fights.
It's 23rd fight in the UFC right now. So yeah, a ridiculous amount of experience. He's probably one of the lesser heralded guys that was in the mix of tough Latino fighters.
Yeah.
And the most finishes in 135-pound history, correct?
I'm not sure. That might be. I'll
have
have
to
to
fact
double
check
check.
you on that
We're gonna
one.
have to
I'm
fact
not
check.
sure.
But I won't be surprised. And those last two finishes, he did kick in the face a couple Hall of Famers. I mean, put Frankie Edgar and Dominic Cruz out in disgusting fashion.
Yes.
That was heartbreaking with Frankie Edgar.
Oh yeah, it was.
Man, I love Frankie Edgar. I bet on Frankie Edgar the year that Tom Brady was playing with the Buccaneers and beat Kansas City Chiefs. I had a parlay on that. And Frankie Edgar got his lights knocked out by Corey Sandhagen.
And did you lose your money?
I lost my money. I lost the parlay.
You didn't lose your money. You gave it to Vegas.
Well, whatever. I didn't lose it. I gave it away. You're right.
I'm curious how big of a star this Sean O'Malley is. I know he's big on social media, but is it really translated into pay-per-view numbers?
Well, what it hasn't translated into pay-per-view numbers, but we have seen the physical evidence of when he's fought in Vegas because we've seen him 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I've seen him, I think, 4 times. So I think it's translated into a lot of T-shirt sales and things like that.
For him or for the UFC?
For him.
Yeah, for him.
For him.
And
His
you know
own
what that
marketing.
translates to as well? A younger audience.
Yeah.
The younger people are drawn to this guy. You know what I mean?
We
He
just
has
need
that
one of
type
these
of-
guys that date Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, then they'll be done.
And they'll win.
No, but for real though, if you really think about it,
There'll
it's
be a
the
handful
younger
of
audience.
fans.
It's not the audience who's buying tickets. It's not the audience that's buying pay-per-views. It's a younger audience who is, I don't know how many Instagram and Twitter and followers that he has. The younger audience is coming up to this guy, and that's what the UFC is actually trying to cater to. Just because, you know what, they need that new audience.
I gotta ask my boys and see if my teenage boys and my 21-year-old know Sean O'Malley. I bet they do.
Probably.
I bet they do.
And I bet they haven't even seen the
and
fight.
not even fights, just in general.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and you know what I was surprised about is that the UFC was never fully able to capitalize on the appreciable possible marketing potential of DJ. I mean, talk about somebody that was streaming and had an internet fan base that nobody tapped into with the millions of people he was streaming with on Twitch.
I don't think they understood that as far as, hey, comparing that to, say, Twitter followers, Instagram followers, and things like that. No, I think today they would. But, I mean, you're right. They didn't want DJ. They didn't want the damn division anymore. They didn't know what to do. I think if that were today, they would have a much better idea of how to handle a fighter like that.
Is that a market to go into more and more for the UFC?
Yes.
TKO
Yes.
with the wrestlers and the UFC fighters.
Yes.
Because I noticed they do on their platform, correct me if I'm wrong, they do like where fighters will go hang out with fans and watch the fights, or they'll have their group of buddies and they'll do commentary, right, on the couches, or they did in the past.
Yeah, I know some wrestlers have done that in the past. I don't know if it's like an official WWE sponsored thing or something they were doing on their own, but whether it's playing video games online, the Xavier Woods from
Up,
UK.
up, down, down.
Yeah,
his
yeah.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, a lot of them do things like
Contras.
that.
Contra.
There are a couple of other
Up,
UFC
down,
fighters
down, left, right.
that maybe not quite as into it as DJ was, but we're doing that as well.
Robert Whitaker has a massive following
Yeah.
for his video games. There's a bunch of the guys that are
And
live
do
streaming.
they get paid from the streaming?
Yeah, from the streaming platform, yeah, just like any other gamer, because they're drawing that view. So you even see it. I think there's is it on YouTube or is it on Twitch where Jens Pulver is? Jens Pulver is also.
Jens has a good following, which is surprising because he's such an older fighter.
Right.
You would think that these younger people wouldn't know who he is, but they do. Why do you think that is with him?
It's the job that he has. It's getting to do something similar to what we're doing. He's a watch-along guy on Twitch, and I believe it's on Twitch, and that's why. So he's on that Twitch universe, so he's tapping into that already, where you have the live watch-along with him, so it's a different feeling.
Mika Frankl, does Cage Minds have a Twitch?
No, we are not on Twitch yet. You can find us on TikTok, on X or Twitter, whatever you like to call it, on Facebook, on YouTube. We got the website.
What's the website?
CageMinds.com, and if you're looking on the social, it's either Cage Minds Combat Sports News or CageMinds_CSN.
And nowprince.com. Josh G, tell us a little bit about it.
Nailprints.com, man. We print everything. I mean, you could think of it, we could print it, you know?
You guys also do designs?
Yeah, we'll design
Websites.
it. We'll do websites. I mean,
Ticketing?
yeah, ticketing. We're starting to do some ticketing. That's about to come up pretty soon. And hopefully that's going to...
And how can people get in contact with you, Josh?
You can go to nowprince.com.
What's your email?
Email is at josh@nowprince.com. Hit me up if you need anything. And yeah, we'll help you out, whatever you need.
What round again?
I'm going decision, all 5.
Michael?
O'Malley, TKO, third round.
Third round, TKO.
Ooh, I like that.
Hey, Dom. What'd you say? Vera finish, or is it unanimous decision? I say split decision. I think it's gonna be a grind, and we're about to start. Michael Buffer screaming his words out. Have you seen his brother? He looked, wow, man.
Not in person.
They put a ton of makeup on him yesterday.
He looked rough yesterday.
Yeah. I was like,
He's also about 15 years older, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Bruce said.
Yeah. And Bruce handles all his booking and everything like that. Back in the early 2000s, he was getting $1 million every time he'd say that. I can only imagine what he's getting right now.
Well, we were talking about that earlier. We're like, okay, this guy got paid a ton of money, plus everything paid for him in Saudi Arabia. And we're talking about the top-notch treatment to bring Michael Buffer out of retirement to announce that one fight, not the whole entire card.
No.
The one fight.
And that's the crazy thing is a lot of people think that he does the whole card. He don't do that anymore.
No, he didn't. He only did the main event. That was it.
I have a friend out of Chicago that does a lot of the undercards, and then Michael Buffer will show up.
Who is the friend out of Chicago? No, he does not do that
Well,
anymore.
no, he used to for PBC.
Yeah, talking about, we know a guy that does commentary for one championship.
Who?
Ray Flores.
Oh, he's doing.
You didn't know that? He's in Singapore now.
Michael Buffer's 79 years old, by the way.
Oh,
Wow, so then he looks good.
Hey, you know what? He looked like that when I was a kid.
I shouldn't say that.
Did he not look like that when we were kids, though?
No.
He looked the same.
No.
Just
No.
about, bro.
Not on
Come on.
ESPN.
It's close, bro. It's close.
Al Bernstein and all those guys, they aged. But you know what? I aged.
We all have aged.
And
But
by
you
the
know what?
way-
We don't got Michael Buffer money either, though.
Yeah. Michael Buffer is also very protective of his intellectual properties.
Yep.
And when you improperly use his catchphrase that I don't even think I can say in the context of this, that's $25,000 a pop every time he catches you. He's got people who do nothing but scour social media and the internet and things like that, looking for people.
So that is
who are
completely
using it.
trademarked under him, and he owns it.
Bruce trademarked it for him.
Yeah.
This, what he says, is trademarked 100%, just like his brother.
Well, did you hear
Yes.
BKFC used it? The announcer
Did
from
they?
BKFC
They're
used
They're
it.
gonna have to answer.
Did he?
Yes, the last time we were here.
What did he say? He said let's get...
No.
Or Bruce.
Oh, but Bruce's. He did
he's
the
UFC.
IT, the it's...
Yeah.
If he did, that's trademark, and he'll have to answer to Bruce and his.
Yes, I saw when we were doing the broadcast.
I'm trying to remember what
of this
Jeff normally
podcast for the BKFC.
I don't know.
they
He
used
dresses
it.
ridiculous, by the way, and you can tell him I said that. Not that I matter, but he dresses ridiculous.
You know, out of all the people
There
with
we
bare
go.
knuckle, I don't think I've said many words to him just in passing or
There
anything.
we go.
He does a
He's gotta
podcast
let
with
those legs
DJ
fly,
Tony.
man.
DJ Tony's
Let
cool.
those legs fly. There you go.
How about O'Malley's sweet pink Venom trunks?
Oh man, what fifth person in UFC history that was able to get it?
All he had to do was ask, is what he said. A champion has never worn the different colors but black.
Oh, no. Connor wore green.
Well, the elite.
What?
The elite in pay-per-view.
Oh, okay. Right.
And he's not.
Yeah, so this is a little bit different. I think they've went away from that. I think really just as long
They're
as they
trying to
put the
make
gold
him-
writing on, they don't care anymore.
They're trying to make him the face of the UFC. They're pushing for that because he has that young following. They want to bring up those young people to purchase pay-per-views, to purchase tickets, to do all that stuff.
It's because they need an American to be the face of the UFC because we care about that. They don't care in Russia if someone's the face.
Nope.
Islam Makhachev is one of the most popular fighters in the world in 4 different countries. None of those countries care if he's the face of the UFC. America cares, so the face needs to be someone that can speak English. Conor McGregor, Sean O'Malley, GSP, John Jones.
Where do you rank GSP as in the welterweight division? All time.
Oh shit! I think I still have him as
Welterweight?
number 1 all time.
Welterweight greatest, I think.
Yeah, I think I still have him as number 1 all
Yes,
time.
me too.
Good.
Especially
I was gonna
welterweight.
choke whichever one of you said no.
Are you kidding me?
I'm like,
Well, no, people are saying that Kumara Usman
Yeah, right.
was the greatest.
No, there's a lot of difference between defending the title a bunch of times and going unbeaten, and Usman beat a bunch of guys on the way to the title, and they were like, that's the same. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. But Woodley and Usman were on the trajectory to enter the conversation, and they both fell short enough to Georgia still way out ahead.
Do you think he's hesitant right now, Sugar?
I think Sugar is doing exactly what he always does, and Cheeto is staying disciplined. He is not going to extend himself the way,
you said he was
Sterling
a starter,
did.
right?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is that Sterling extended himself over and over and over again. You cannot do that against Sean O'Malley. He is a sniper. He will take you out.
Gage Mines, what do you guys think?
Cheeto's coming out more active than I expected. I'm
Me
wondering
too.
if Sean O'Malley is reading this or if he's having to adjust because he didn't expect this.
Oh, there you go. Nice left. He, like I said in the beginning, he's got to let those legs fly.
I think O'Malley's fine. I think he wasn't going to rush into anything here. Look, he might be a little caught off guard that Vera is being a little aggressive this early, but
well, I'm sure his camp told him that he had to be.
yeah. Oh, I'm sure they did. But yeah, I mean, O'Malley looks composed enough.
Yeah, he does. He looks very composed.
And that's
Little known fact as well, Cheeto Vera's leg reach is extreme. I think they have similar leg reach.
Really?
Which is, yes. Which
He's a
is
little guy.
who? Yeah, but there. You know who it's longer than? Francis Ngannou.
Really? Fact check it, Micah.
Yes, go ahead.
There was, it's something about that these two guys' leg reach, is longer than most of the heavyweights, that they have smaller torsos.
Yep.
These are two of the longer arm,
Fact
longer
check.
leg bantamweights and just fighters, period.
Yep.
By CageMinds.com.
Arm wrestling legend and body fat knower. That's impressive right there.
Hey, you know what? I get all of my information from the barbershop, man. We have plenty of people that come in here and
It's
talk,
the
and you know what I
barbershop
mean?
Right.
top. That's
You
what
know,
I'm
you know
doing.
exactly. I can't say that everything that I hear is true, but you know what I mean? There's a lot of good people in here that know and watch these fights and are fans and connoisseurs of
Oh
it.
yeah, today, man, everybody was talking about all the fights. Everybody had opinions.
It's fight night, bro.
Even though people didn't even know about the fights, people were still saying stuff. It's crazy to see different perspectives from different people.
Yes, I love it.
So in the barbershop talk, how often do you guys get boxing or MMA? Like, is it one sport more than the other?
Every day.
No, but which one dominates?
I don't think either or. And I think because living in New Mexico, we have a ton of boxing fans, you know what I mean? We have a boxing legend that grew up here, you know what I'm saying? 5-time world champion, over multiple weight divisions,
Right.
So we have boxing and MMA fans big time here.
Michael Carlisle, thoughts on the first round?
I thought it was pretty even. As we talked about as the round went on, I thought Vera, we thought he can't come out slow. I think he tried to come out a little faster. I thought it was pretty even. If you could hold my feet to the fire, I'd probably give the round to O'Malley. But if you wanted to tell me it was Vera, I wouldn't argue with you.
Micah?
It is a very close round right now. O'Malley, like we said, he's going to have the volume. It's the damage and the impact that Vera needs to add. And so far, you don't see that visual damage, so I think you're giving it to O'Malley on the volume.
Back it down.
O'Malley did have a lot of volume. I was happy with, because of my choice and who I want to win, that Cheeto came out a little quicker than he normally does in other fights.
Round 2, here we go. Let's see if anything changes. What has to change? Micah.
If you're Cheeto, you got to start to work the legs. You have to eliminate that movement and make O'Malley a much more hittable target.
That hit him in the arm.
Yeah, that did.
And by the way, what happened to that strategy? Sean O'Malley, the knock on him was bad legs, weak legs, kicking into the legs. You beat him, all of a sudden people stopped doing that.
Right, he was a guy that, not besides that fight, but there was also the Sukumtov fight where he had a leg injury, so people wondered if there was a vulnerability to him, and he seems to have escape that narrative. But a good point was, did people stop challenging him in that area for some weird reason?
Are you surprised how this second round has started? It's kind of the same slow pace.
Not really. This is more what you feared if you were going for Vera, is that he is just going to lull into chasing O'Malley. On an athletic standpoint, if they were on a track, you can see O'Malley's just a much faster athlete.
He's taking the center of the octagon. Does that count?
It doesn't count in MMA.
Not right now.
Forward pressure, ring generalship. It's a lot harder because if you listen to an Ian Gary kind of theory from last time we were here, you could say that O'Malley has Vera on his rope. He's pulling him. He's the one, even though he's getting pressured, he's the one initiating the exchanges.
And if you notice, he's hitting him to the body a lot right now. He's wearing him down because he knows this is a 5-round fight.
And like we said, Cheeto is so tough, hasn't been knocked down, hasn't been hurt. Maybe you just go with it. I'm not going to hit him in the head. Everyone's hit him in the head.
Done.
O'Malley looks very composed. This is what I'm seeing in this. He is a very patient fighter. He's looking, studying. I've always said in MMA, especially if you're going to be a long-term champion, whatever it may be, it's always a smarter fighter. He's really looking at what Cheeto is doing right now. Cheeto looks a little bit more scattered, I guess you could say, than O'Malley does right now.
Michael, if this fight continues this way for 5 rounds, does this hurt O'Malley?
Does it hurt him? I would say no. It certainly doesn't help him like a spectacular finish would.
Right.
Yeah, I'm all about a good fight, and I can appreciate some of the intricacies. I would tell you, not all Sean O'Malley fights are super exciting.
No.
And that's, again, it's all in what you're looking for from a fighter in a fight. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just an observation, but it's not like he goes out and does something spectacular every fight.
Micah?
Sean O'Malley is having his way with Cheeto Vera. At this point, you can see him just dictating everything that's going on. Vera's
like
biting on every
right?
feint and feint. Exactly.
He's kind of catching him, seeing his timing. He got it down now. There's a rhythm behind this.
Part of it too, O'Malley doesn't give anything away, like facial expressions. He always keeps that stoic look. So, I mean, even when he's like cooking or about to start cooking, you don't really know it until it actually happens.
On the chin. Maybe we'll get that third round finish.
Might get a
second round finish.
But either way, it's in 3. The genius wearing the Bellator sweatshirt.
Bellator could only use that genius.
That was a rough knee, man. He ate it and he stood on his feet. Look at that. This is a tough guy right here, man.
Yeah. Hey, Micah, is it true that they're going to the zone?
Bellator, it looks like it. The official press release is supposed to come out this week-ish. Hopefully it does, because we're about 13 days away from their first Bellator Championship Series event.
And they were very vague on how you can watch it.
Exactly. So that is hopefully coming out this week. I did see, if you look on certain platforms, they are saying DAZN already. That looks to be the most likely destination.
I know.
There you go.
They mentioned
Nice right, nice
but
left.
They said TFL/Bellator. But they didn't say the events on DAZN.
Yeah, because you look at it, the PFL International Series already home there on DAZN, so it'd be a natural partnership. I don't think that poster had any details, right?
It doesn't. That's what I was looking at, because I was thinking it did, but it does not.
Man, put him down.
Drop.
Man, that was a fadeaway right there.
Calm.
You saw Cheeto came in forward, right on the line. O'Malley just stepped off to the side. That right hand, he just leaned off.
Why do you think MMA fighters have that problem of stepping off that line, that center line? Meaning moving out of the way of those punches.
They want to brawl.
Austin
It's a
Trout
brawling sport.
It
is not smart.
Austin
And look at
Trout
O'Malley is showing it right now.
was
That is
telling
not
me
smart.
from fighting 2 MMA fighters in bare knuckle that he believes it's the wrestling. Now that he started working in the clinch and doing some wrestling practices because they thought it would help him with his clinch, everything in wrestling is very explosive, very forward. There's not a lot of that linear. There's not a lot of that pivoting. So, because they're looking for that physical contact, you see it. So, they're not used to the pivot. It's just a totally different sense
How
of
do you
how to
eat
defend
that?
it or attack that position.
Man, what a tough man. What a tough guy to eat that knee like that.
I think that's what caused the cut. I thought it was a punch, man. I think it was actually that.
No,
knee
that was the knee.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Tough guy.
Here you
This
go.
is
Third
everything
This
that
is
Sean O'Malley
Micah's
hoped for.
round right here.
No, this is Michael
Carlisle's.
round.
Oh, excuse me.
Yep.
O'Malley wanted to say the first fight was a fluke, wanted to erase that memory.
I don't know if it was a fluke, but
It's not a fluke. It's
I
a
don't
fight.
think it's a
It
fluke.
happened.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
happened. But he's doing a pretty good job. If you're drinking his Kool-Aid, you'll be believing him after this one.
he may even finish him.
O'Malley just looks so composed. Look at it. He is just stays tight, focused, and
If
he has his eye on the
I gotta
prize.
eat my words.
we had it, if everybody outside of Joel Ojeda hadn't just seen Corey Sanhagen do the same thing to Chito Vera, it'd be a little more impressive. But I think that Sanhagen and company gave a pretty good blueprint to O'Malley of what was going to be successful in this fight.
And it's crazy because the way coaches,
Yeah.
teams break fights down, it's like you huddle around the TV. Stop, start, stop, start. Look at their tendencies. Whether they drop a hand, whether they go right, whether they go left. How do they react when they get stunned a little bit? You know, it's so much more than, throw punches, throw kicks, choke them here, do this. It truly is a master game plan. And you watch, like you just said, you watch those game plans that worked. What worked in it? What didn't work? Let's take those things that didn't work out and let's implement some other things.
So how much do you think this does help O'Malley and is a improvement for the marketing? Because you got to credit the marketing. This is his hand-picked opponent, and he's having the performance that he wanted to have.
I think it helps him. I mean, if he lost, I think it cripples him in terms of pay-per-view, and that's what I'm looking at.
O'Malley wants super fights.
Yes.
Does winning this get him those?
No way.
No. Who
No.
did he get? Who does he want?
He wants Taporia. He wants
Yeah.
45. He wants to be the guy in that 80,000 seat arena in Spain.
Taporia would knock his ass out.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't, I'm sorry to say it, but it would be the exact same thing he did to Volkanovski.
I would still love to see the fight, and it would probably still put asses in seats.
Would it?
If he,
In Spain,
especially,
I think Taporia would still put.
and who would he fight though?
I don't think it matters in Spain.
Really?
No, you should see.
But what about? But you were just talking about pay-per-view.
So you do gotta sell pay-per-views, but
I'm just saying though, in the pay-per-view event,
So again,
How many seats arena?
80,000.
What is it?
they said something like 80,000 in Spain. I think they said that would turn into possibly 35 or 40,000 for an MMA event. These body shots are beautiful,
Yes.
and not just that. But O'Malley's not getting touched here.
No.
Vera can't find him. He's getting eaten up, and he can't retaliate.
But to your
He's not
guys'
able to
point,
answer.
notice he's not throwing them leg kicks.
Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
He did it a little bit in the second round. Totally went away from it here. You
Do
can't.
you think he's lulling his opponents to get away from there and try and fight him with just fists?
Well, right now it's actually 16 leg kicks to 14 in favor of Vera. I just don't think that he was seeing the dividends from doing it. He wasn't seeing a hitch in O'Malley's steps. So I'm guessing he went away from it because he felt it wasn't
He
paying
didn't do
off.
very many.
Well, you know what the problem is as well. Okay, he's looking at these leg kicks that he's throwing, and O'Malley's not reacting to it.
Right.
The reaction is what he's looking for. He's not getting it, so he's not doing it. That's not the way it works. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You look at all these very, very good fighters. They keep that poker face. They are in the fight all the way through with that type of poker face to where they stay very stoic and very on point with what they are doing. And that's what Sean O'Malley is doing right now.
These punches
But
are
he did. He
freezing
has.
up O'Malley.
He's gone away from those
Cheeto's
leg kicks.
reacting
But
to
why?
everything.
Say it again.
I said these strikes are freezing up Cheeto. He is reacting to every feint and fake and getting stunned by everything
I
now
love
that's
that
landing.
he's using his jab, his reach too, throwing them straight, and those knees are landing. Like you said.
Right hand landed.
There you go.
Only been 2 times, but there's been 2 good hooks from Cheeto in this round, and that was more than he had in the second.
Oh, he's gonna get choked.
5 seconds.
Yeah, it's not enough time, and that's right. Hey, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
I got to give it to him for not going after him, not wasting energy.
Exactly.
He knew there was only 5 to 10 seconds. Super smart by Sean O'Malley.
Yes, I agree. That's what makes a great fighter. I'm telling you, smartest. John Jones, Anderson Silva. You know, these fighters that are very, very aware of what's going on in the ring.
Michael, what do you think about John Jones and how he looked out there at the PFL?
Looked like he might have ate all of Bones. I don't know where that guy went. Jones is at the buffet, it looks like.
Do you think that's going to have an effect when he hits the cage with Stipe?
I don't know if anything could change my perspective on the fact that John Jones is going to take down Stipe Miocic and maul him whenever they fight.
You really believe that?
I do.
I really believe that
You don't
from
think
seeing the
there's a
guys that he was
toughness?
working with and what he was doing. I think that his jiu-jitsu game is on another
The jiu-jitsu
level
game is
from
he
where
was on another
Miocic
level
is.
when he was a white belt.
And I'm sure that he's smart enough to know Miocic would have a very good
I know
chance on
John
the feet
Jones
with him.
personally, and I know people that train with John Jones. They say he has like a snake charmer like presence in the ring. And we're talking about sparring. You know what I mean?
He lowers dudes
and then
into a
they
speed
also
that he
talk
handles.
about his unhuman-like strength. He is a strong man.
I wouldn't be too concerned about how he looked a couple of weeks ago. He'll be in shape. He'll be ready when they finally get around to having that fight. I wouldn't discount Stipe. If Stipe lands the right punch, he could absolutely beat him. But I think
Well, I
you know,
mean, look
John,
at John.
in the Gone fight, he proved he can fight at heavyweight. He can do whatever he needs to do. I think he's much more multifaceted than Stipe is. As far as Stipe's going to have to knock you out if he's going to beat you or outpoint you. John can take you down if he needs to. He can stand there and throw with you as well. I just think John, as dominant as he was at light heavyweight, he can do that exact same thing at heavyweight.
I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Me too. One thing about it too is like when John gets into the fight, he has this unhuman-like factor about him. You know what I mean? It's the it factor. There's not a lot of people that have it. You know what I mean in sports, and he's got it when it comes to.
Oh,
Vero with the knee.
He came out very aggressive.
Because he knows he has to win these rounds.
yeah, but he's still getting picked apart. Majority of the round.
And look at the composure of O'Malley.
Yeah.
After all of that,
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, if you're Vera, you know you're down 2-1. You might be down 3-0.
And he's the movement of Sean.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with him.
So am I. I'm most impressed with him on this fight than any that I've seen.
You gonna try and come out with that Michael Jackson jacket when he fights him?
That'd be great for Marab.
Well, I'm saying like the weigh-ins, or I understand they can't do it.
But no, you got to bring out the Michael Jackson jacket as many times as you can.
But
The
one of
red
his-
jacket
one of his
started the
opponents
rivalry.
probably wear it or somebody sitting right front row.
Right, have Aljo just front row.
I bet Venom would make one for him.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And then Sal,
Yeah, exactly.
UFC.com.
Exactly, yeah.
Micah, where can they buy your merch at?
Now Prince. Right, Josh?
Hey, all day, every day.
CageMinds.com. It's linked there, right?
We do have a link
yes.
on the front home page, cageminds.com, to find the merchandise. Got results up, interviews. It's where you find our podcasts.
I believe you got a sweatshirt shirt for sale there. That's the exact same color as Sean O'Malley's shorts right now.
No, that's one of the options for the writing
right.
on the Cage
Yeah.
Minds t-shirt.
Oh.
You can get them with the pink. He stole the pink from Josh.
You can even do the purple for Women's Month or whatever. Men don't get them. We get a day. We don't get a month.
We get the whole year.
We got red and blue options.
Ball drop. Boom. On the table instead of mic drop.
You know what? Somehow Sean has tricked Cheeto into making him fight his fight. I haven't seen a leg
I don't
kick
think it's
in like
trick.
two.
But because O'Malley refuses to be baited in, so right, so you get frustrated, or you're like, well, screw it, I'll go after you. Right, O'Malley is very disciplined, and that does cause his opponents to stray from their game plan.
And the way
O'Malley is
the way he's
blooded in
circling
the
out
mouth right
is
now.
smart. He hits that cage, he feels it, and he circles out.
Yeah.
What did I say
And
though,
he's
man?
charging
If,
forward.
if Cheeto is going to win, he has to let those legs fly, and I haven't seen
Yeah.
a kick in a
No,
minute.
well, none of them opponents. And that's so weird that they don't go after his legs. But this is growth on O'Malley's part. I will say that.
Never being a stationary target.
I'm also
Moving all
also
the
very
things.
impressed with how he changes from southpaw to orthodox over and over and over again. He does it very fluently as well. See, there it is
Yep.
again. He keeps doing it over and over again.
Micah, say it again. What were you saying a little second ago?
That O'Malley does a very good job of not being a stationary target. He's constantly moving. He's avoiding the in the pocket exchanges where Cheeto could get off any of his power. Where he's keeping it long like this and keeping it moving, he's staying on the outside of the big shots and staying at a range where you can see it coming like that knee.
I think whoever called it for a unanimous decision, I'm not going to say who, but yeah, I didn't. I lost, so.
His angles are incredible
I
in
think
the
you
octagon.
guys got it correct. Yeah.
His
Oh,
angles
Cheeto's
are
just so
incredible
damn
in the
tough and hard to
octagon.
finish.
I can't. He might even do well in the boxing ring. You never know. The only thing is that what I see when MMA guys try to go into the boxing ring, the range. The range.
Yeah, it's a different
Boxing is a very close sport, as opposed to this where you know
Well,
you
even
could
when
be a little bit further
even,
away.
even when they stay long, you think they're that far away and they're not. The distance is totally different.
Yeah, I agree. But you know, I'm very impressed with Sean O'Malley right now.
Have you heard anything? Oh, I think I asked you about Austin Trout. Nothing.
Nothing yet on that
Austin
front.
hasn't said anything to you.
No, the most he had said was that he didn't care whether it was a rematch, somebody in the top 5, or if they bring in a name. He wasn't trying to pick an opponent. He wanted to take on anybody.
And then before we leave tonight, will you tell us any more updates for that BKFC card here in Albuquerque?
Well, you know, we are going to see, like, Flip Chavez is going to be back. We do have Mondo Otero, Anthony Sanchez, who's already fought both of Bolin's Perez brothers on the BKFC card. They will all be back on there. And I think I already mentioned Donald Sanchez, Wilfredo Santiago, and we got John Dotson in the main event. So, stacking up with a lot of local names.
Very nice. On the A side, you're going to obviously have the B side. Have they gotten opponents yet for all of them?
Oh, yeah, all those guys are
They are
matched.
matched up.
Everybody that I'm naming now is matched up. I believe Austin Lewis, the younger brother of Amber Brown, he's also matched. It'll be his second fight in BKFC.
And you can find all that information at cageminds.com. We are on round 5, and he's still picking them apart. Sean O'Malley.
Picked him apart all fight.
Yeah. Very, very surprised. To me, this is growth for Sugar Sean O'Malley. Correct me if I'm wrong, Micah.
This is a huge performance. To do it 5 rounds against a guy as tough as Cheeto, and Cheeto has had no answers. This has got to be a confidence booster. This is that promotional booster. And hopefully this will give him the confidence, because Murad Dvalishvili is a whole different animal, and he should be the #1 contender.
Michael, stock rises for him?
Yes, 100%.
With the hardcore, correct? He's got the casual, he's got his fan base.
I think there's a misnomer that Sean O'Malley is all style and no substance. And that might have been true when he debuted. But even if it was, I think if you followed him at all, his last several fights, you've seen the maturation and the development of his skill set. And yeah, I think he's proven that for the world tonight.
So you heard it first. Michael Carlisle is saying, all style, all substance, UFC 299. Sugar Sean O'Malley is proving it tonight. Dom?
I agree with Michael, man. Like, this is a stunning performance.
Yeah.
You know we're dangerously close to jinxing him in these last 2.5 minutes, right?
Absolutely. I just don't see it. I mean, he's been disciplined this whole fight.
Yeah.
Had he gotten reckless with him at any point, I would say yeah, for sure. But I don't see it happening. Not saying that it can't. Anything can happen in a fight.
You're absolutely right. We saw Gilbert Burns earlier. I mean, it was a different fight, but this guy is sure enough showing enough discipline that he's going to finish the fight exactly the way he started it and exactly the way it's gone throughout the whole way through.
Right.
Where do you think they take that fight? His next title fight? Will they stay in Vegas? Will they take it to Arizona? Because that's where he's from, right?
So there's an interesting possibility there because we talk about TKO teaming up with different markets. Well, you could take him back home. You could just go to Vegas because that's really not that far away. They haven't been to Houston in a while, and I do know with the Malou family, they've always had a good relationship, and that was a big hot spot during the pandemic. So O'Malley, again, because he's an American face, it feels like he's one of the guys that they could take to any one of those markets.
I could see him in Boston again. I could see New York, Vegas. You guys mentioned Phoenix, Glendale area. Yeah, absolutely. Houston.
Oh. Who knows when they'll be back to the Honda Center already because they have that deal. So
Yeah.
Right.
And they're saying they're going to run potentially in that same interview. Ari was saying they're going to run SmackDown on Friday, UFC on Saturday,
And Raw.
and then Raw
Yeah.
Monday. How crazy is that kind of turnaround though? Pulling that cage out, putting the ring up, letting them set up. Schematic wise, they have to change it all up.
and that depends. Are you trying to run the arena for the weigh-ins before you do the SmackDown?
You know
or are you
what?
trying to
There are
maybe do it
times in
outside?
Vegas where the Golden Knights have a Friday night game, and as soon as the game's over, they cover the ice, they start setting up the cage, and
Hey, they
and
do
then
it
they turn
here.
it all down for a Sunday afternoon hockey game.
Yeah.
They do it here at home.
Yeah.
With the New Mexico United and Isotopes.
Yeah.
They do it all the time. You know what? My cousin, he worked
20 seconds.
He worked for the Isotopes and the field and stuff like that. He would help with the transition from Isotopes to New Mexico United and vice versa. He told me that it was a $15,000 transition each time, and they would go from one day to the next. And we're talking a baseball field.
Yeah, you've got to completely take out the pitcher's mound, level that out, run for the soccer, and then rebuild the pitcher's mound.
Yep,
All in agreement, unanimous decision.
I agree.
Yeah.
Sean O'Malley.
I don't think Cheeto won a round.
No. Maybe one.
He might have won one.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But I tell you what, he earned stripes with me. And I'm more of the old school grinder, gritty type of fighter. This kid
He's smooth.
showed grit, showed composure, showed championship level material. My hat's off to Sugar Sean O'Malley. Because I didn't think he would. I really didn't see this coming from him. Micah, you're the one that said unanimous decision, right?
Unanimous decision.
Gotta always listen to CageBinds.com. He might pick you out some winners.
Cheeto Vera, too tough for his own good. Knew he wouldn't be
You
stopped.
lost your customer money with Gilbert Burns. He went to the MGM betting thing, and we told him to bet Gilbert. He's all I'm leaving here and I'm going to bet. You know, man.
Hey, so I had three fights that I was going to bet on. I was not going to bet on this one, and I was not going to bet on the MVP fight. Okay, I had Gilbert Burns, Poirier, and Yarn. Burns is the only one that didn't. Well, and you know what? He was winning the fight.
Yeah,
He was winning.
it was a good fight. That would have been a
He got
solid
caught.
bet. I mean, obviously knowing what we know now, it's.
And that's what I told him as
Yeah.
well. I told him the same thing. I was not going to bet on this fight because I did not know.
Hey, fellas, when he was getting his glove taken off, he's whinging.
It looks like one, if not both, hands are broken.
Yeah, and I'm talking about Sugar Sean.
Yeah, his right hand looks to be broken.
Would not be the first hand injury for him either.
Yeah, that changes everything. Does he come back at the end of the year, or does he come back start of 2025?
305, man.
Not if his hands are broken. When their hands winch or when their faces winch up like that, when they're just taking off the gloves.
Let's see. It's March 9th. If he's gonna certainly not before November, December, and maybe maybe it is 2025.
The first card of the new year.
Look at the stats.
That kind of timeline, we might get an interim title fight before we see Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, that's possible.
Mike, say that one more time.
If it's that kind of timeline, then we're not going to see him until next year. We could get an interim title fight with the UFC schedule.
Do you like these so many interim title fights thrown out there so fast?
No, but it's
Why
the
do you
result
If
of
you
the
can do
machine.
something with him, like Aspinall is the interim heavyweight
Yeah,
champion. If you're not
yeah.
gonna let him fight, then there's no point.
And John already said he's not going to fight him.
Yeah.
John has enough push. You don't have to fight him.
Somebody gave him a 10-8.
Put on the shades.
Someone gave him a 10-8? I don't agree with that one.
I don't know. He picked him apart. I mean, maybe he's more of a boxing judge. I don't know who gave him that 10-8.
Doesn't matter.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it was Sal Mora.
That's not Sal Mora. That's Sal D'Amato, because Sal D'Amato don't know how to judge. He's long there with Cecil
But yeah,
Peoples.
every damn main event,
Holy cow.
I don't get it.
Those two, Cecil Peoples, Sal D'Amato, those two dudes suck. And Bird, the lady Bird. Yep.
Look at that. Bam.
He's lucky he didn't break his knee on Cheeto's face there.
Oh, I might have been there.
He says something snapped. It could be just a boxing fracture. No, you're not John Jones. You're fighting that Hamill.
Now, Sean, this was your finest performance inside the octagon. They always say you're not a true champion until you defend the title.
Yep.
I don't buy that. You were the champ coming in, but you did defend the title. You did get back that one loss in your career. Give us your thoughts on what you'd like to do next.
And folks, we're just listening.
Sean O'Malley has called out Ilya Taporia. He wants to go up to 145. I think he's scared of Merab Dvalishvili or Corey Sandhagen. There's a lot of work left to be done at 135 to make a call out like that.
Slapped in Spain.
Hey, but isn't that the fight though? Like, isn't that the money?
That's what I'm saying. There's more money getting slapped in Spain than there is losing to Dvalishvili in Boston.
I agree.
Or Sandhagen in Phoenix.
Pay-per-view money for sure.
Yeah.
And then if they get some kind of deal with the per seat, they sell out. I don't know if they do. Micah, have you heard anything from any of the guys? That would be my thing. Because some of the guys that I did deals with, we'd go 50-50 on what they can sell. Some of the guys would walk out that were pros, 5-0, 5-1, $10,000, $20,000, just on those 50, what we call 50-50 deals.
Look at this though, man. Hey, this guy is a tough motherfucker. I'll tell you right now, bro. He ate a lot of shots tonight.
Yeah.
That knee, I wouldn't see very many people just stand through that right
there. Does that move his ranking from number 5?
Nah, he stays where he is.
Yeah, Michael.
I mean, I can see him drop a spot or so, but I mean, you gonna flip? Well,
who moves up?
Yadong. That'd be the only one. So
Yadong lost.
That's Jan was already ahead of him. That's right. Yadong lost.
Yadong lost.
Yeah, Jan was already ahead of him. Yeah, he probably does stay the same. Cejudo's not going to leapfrog him coming off of his loss.
Yeah, because it goes Vera, Cejudo, Yadong. So everyone stays the same.
And speaking of that, Henry isn't retiring now?
No, now he says he wants to stay. Now he's calling for the money fight with Brandon Moreno to solve their dispute. You know that old story, right?
You know, I don't understand what he's going to do. Like, you know, he says that he's going to retire.
I think he's just a step behind this competition nowadays.
He should have been really sure when he retired the first time. I think between if he had kept fighting, I think he'd have been fine. I think he lost a step while he was retired.
Yep, I agree. He shouldn't have went out to make babies and do his thing with his lady and get married and all that stuff, or do that in parallel. You know, and there's other fighters that have done that, and that's what he wanted to do.
He's limping.
Thoughts on UFC 299, Michael?
I enjoyed it. I guess if we're going to talk surprise, I don't think many of us picked JDM to beat Gilbert Burns. I think amongst us, we mostly took a wait-and-see approach on Michael Page. They both stood out in their fights, and again, I enjoyed the main event. It exceeded expectations, but it ended how I thought it would, with Sean O'Malley being victorious.
Micah?
We were wondering about the comings and goings, and it kind of worked out 50-50. You got Phillips, Gamrot, Barber winning on the undercard, and JDM on the main card. And on the other side, you have Jan, Venom Page, Poirier, the older guys, still maintaining. So in the coming and going, we ended up kind of 50-50 there.
And Micah, give your social handles and the website and also your podcast.
Get on over to cageminds.com. That's where you can find MMA After Hours, Pro Wrestling After Hours from the After Hours Podcast Network. If you're on Facebook, it's Cage Minds Combat Sports News. That's the same name for the YouTube, or it's youtube.com/cageminds_CSN, and that's the way that you find us across the rest of the social media.
Barber Dom, give us your thoughts.
I thought it was a great card, man. Like I said, the only one that I was wrong on that I thought I was sure was the Gilbert Burns fight. JDM finished him at the end. I thought Gilbert Burns was winning the fight. Didn't happen that way. Very, very impressed with Sugar Sean O'Malley's composure in the fight. He showed that he was a true champion. I don't even know what's really next for him. He called out to Poirier. We'll see what happens there. Other than that, I enjoyed the card. I thought it was incredible.
And how can people come see you and get pretty like Sal Mora here at Dapper Barber Parlor?
We are here right now at Dapper Barber Parlor, 5836 Osuna Road Northeast, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 505-884-4647. Call us up. We'll get you in, get you looking good.
Awesome. This is the Beatdown with Friends live event podcast. You can catch me on 99.9 FM, The Beat, with the Beatdown in 60 with Sal Mora. This is all powered by NowPrince.com. We'll see you next time. This was a good one.
That was,
And thank you, wife.
The Beatdown with Sal Mora, presented by NowPrince.com.
This for the 505, always ready to ride.